in the area, but we're going to have a beautiful night for baseball. This is Game 2 of this series between Kansas City and Fargo-Moorhead. The two teams played last week at Legends Field in Kansas City. The Monarchs got all three of those games. The Redhawks exacted revenge last night, swinging the big bats. Dylan Thomas, a grand slam that opened up the game early yesterday in the second inning. That made it 6-2, but the Redhawks were far from done last night. Jarus Richards adding to the hit parade last night here at Newman Outdoor Field. The ball was flying out, a warm day, and this one, Brian Fuentes, a 3-run home run that clanked up that scoreboard in left center field, and the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks flexing their muscle at the plate and defensively. By the time the dust settled, the Redhawks defeating Kansas City 16-6 last night, and that's for Fargo-Moorhead the most runs and hits in a game this season. And tonight, it is Game 2. The Redhawks, with the win yesterday, climbed a little bit up on Kansas City. The Monarchs lead the Western Division and still lead it today. Kansas City sitting at 6 games above 500 and first in the American Association West Division. The Redhawks 5.5 back after that win last night. So today it is Game 2 between the Redhawks and the Monarchs. Austin Hansen going for Kansas City. He started out well, 1-0 in the season, and that low ERA at 2.21. For Hunter Day, the right-hander, got a couple of wins under his belt already this year for the young right-hander. 10 strikeouts, 12 walks, at ERA just under 7, but Hunter Day, an effective pitcher. Should be a great night for baseball. These two teams, a lot of championships under their belt in independent baseball. Whenever Kansas City and Fargo-Moorhead get together, you know something's going to happen. Let's go over to the PA voice, Bob Roars.
Here they are, your hometown team, your Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks.
Well, the fans have waited for this one tonight. They came here and they hung out through the rain, and they're set for baseball as Hunter Day leads the Redhawks out. The lineup he'll face tonight is set forth by manager Joe Calfapietri of Kansas City. Leading off, Marcus Smith in right field. Nick Martini, new addition to the team, had 3 hits in last night's game in his Kansas City debut. Martini batting second. Saul Garza, the DH, batting third. Grant Richardson in left field hitting cleanup. Austin Callahan, good left-handed batter at third base, batting fifth. Sahid Valenzuela batting 6th. Hudson Head hits 7th and center. Brady Lindsley catching tonight, batting 8th. And Josh Bissonette. This game is going to feature 2 really good defensive shortstop. Bissonette, one of them, and Aiden Byrne for the Redhawks, the other. Hunter Day, the right-hander on the hill. The defense behind him in left field tonight for the Redhawks, Jarus Richards, Jesus Luhano in center, and in right field, Dylan Thomas. At third base, Brian Fuentes had a big home run last night, 3 hits for the Redhawks. Aiden Byrne, the young shortstop, phenom Colby Wilkerson, young second baseman, and Jose Sermo back in the lineup tonight at 1B, catching Juan Fernandez. And the Redhawks DHing Trip Clark in this game tonight. So that is the Redhawks lineup. Your umpires presented by Onstad Twitchell, calling the balls and strikes tonight. David Arrieta, the crew chief. First base, Jeff Beeman and Alex Endell at third. Hunter Day, 2-1 on the season. Dozen strikeouts, 10 walks. And for Hunter Day, a couple of those wins, got some run support in those wins. You know, saw him in Sioux Falls, gave up 5 runs, 3 earned, and Hunter Day is going to be around the plate. Even though the walks and strikeouts roughly even, this is a guy that he gets that rhythm. He is a strike thrower despite the 10 walks he has this year, but we'll see if the Hawks can get run support for Hunter tonight. Kansas City, though, loaded. This team eventually will hit. From a team aspect and overall aspect, runs scored, offensive categories, maybe it's been a slow start for Kansas City this year. But they're in first place because they can pitch it and they can catch it. Yesterday, now again, the Redhawks scored 16 runs on 19 hits. Yesterday was warm. The wind was blowing out. It wasn't a good day to be a pitcher last night as the ball was jumping over Newman Outdoor Field. But today, not quite as warm. As we mentioned, we had showers in the area, and we are set for baseball tonight. Hunter Day into the line. The first pitch is a strike, and we're underway at 8:32 Central Time. 8:32 Central Time. Yeah, yesterday we had temperatures that were reaching the 90s and upper 80s. Day delivers high to Marcus Smith. What a difference a day makes. And Those that live in the northern plains in this part, you could have 91 day, and tonight 67 degrees at game time. 1-1 pitch, and Smith lines the ball well struck to center. Back is Luhano. This is bouncing off the center field fence, and Marcus Smith with one swing sticks one 400 feet from home plate. It's a double for Smith to lead off the game. Marcus Smith's 5th double of the season. And a nice easy stroke right there for Marcus Smith. Smith is a man that can do damage at the top of the order. And Joe Calfapietra, the veteran manager of Kansas City, yesterday against the right-hander Wyatt Cheney, he loaded up his lineup with left-handed batters or switch hitters yesterday. So it was a steady diet, and he'll do it again today, including this man, Nick Martini, another veteran presence in this lineup. 3 hits last night as Hunter Day zips a strike into the knees. And a fun crowd, and there's a baseball crowd, and the operation here at Newman Outdoor Field with Kyle on the tunes and the press box pumping music and Bob Roars on the PA. Here's a broken back ground ball that'll move the runner over to third, fielded by Wilkerson. The second baseman makes the play to first, and there's out number 1. So these fans, even though they waited an hour and a half or so to get this thing going, entertained, their bellies are full, and now baseball here. And in the wake of that system, it's just gorgeous after that system, sunshine and abundance. This ballpark, mirrored after old Yankee Stadium, by the way, the dimensions here at Newman Outdoor Field. That means left field line 318, the right field line 314. 408, the deepest part of Newman in that crease. Here's Saul Garza, who takes a pitch away. Garza not in the lineup yesterday for Kansas City. One of the few right-handed batters that'll be in the lineup, but a dangerous hitter. Garza hitting .276 on the year, 7 home runs on the season. Infield brought in. Garza pulls the ball foul towards the Redhawks dugout. Played cleanly down there. Hunter Day, 2-1 with a .606, actually his earned run average. Ball and a strike on Saul Garza. The set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Came with that secondary stop, and you're going to have to mix it up against Kansas City. Well, can Day keep Kansas City off the board here in the top of the first? The pitch, and a ball fouled back. Yesterday we mentioned it was active. It was just active. Wind blowing out, warm day, talked about it. Kansas City facing Wyatt Cheney. Cheney got the first 2 batters out. Then the Monarchs put up 2 runs on 4 straight hits after that. The 1-2. And this ball hammered to the deepest part of Newman Outdoor Field. Way back there, bouncing off the fence in left center. Marcus Smith scores easily from third. It's an RBI double for Saul Garza. And the Monarchs, for the second straight night, take the early lead. It's 1-0. Boy, the 2 balls that have been struck today, one by Marcus Smith and this one by Garza, showing his power. That was all barrel to that .399 alley. Garza's 16th run batted of the season, and his 7th double hit this year. And it just doesn't get any easier after that. Here's Big Grand Richardson. So again, the Monarchs in every game so far, and this is the 5th game played between the 2 teams this season. Talked about last week, Kansas City sweeping the 3 games from Fargo-Moorhead, all 1-run games, but it was Kansas City that jumped out in front early, and they do it again today like they did last night. Day checks Garza in the pitch. Richardson takes a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Grant hitting at a .260 clip. 19 hits on the year. Couple of home runs. 10 runs batted in. A right-hander, Hunter Day, the pitch home. And this ball hit high in the air to left field. Drifting back is Richards, and he'll make the catch in front of the warning track in left field. Garza's trying to tag, and he will. Advance 90 feet to third. Well, a deep fly there from Grant Richardson. Little shift in the wind. Today, blowing a little bit more out towards right field. Last night, that ball is clearly gone because the wind was howling out to left. So Hunter Day out away from getting out of this, but now you got to figure out how to get past Austin Callahan. As far as big nights last night in the first game of this series, Callahan had a 4-hit performance last night against the Redhawks. Was 4 for 5 in the game. Takes the pitch high here. Couple doubles here in the top of the first inning has the Monarchs leading 1-0, and Callahan has seen those numbers at 4-hit night. Average is up in that mid-270s, 274 in the season. Wind the pitch, and Day stays away. The Redhawks coming off a 9-game, 10-day road trip. The entire league had the day off yesterday, or on Monday, and then yesterday resumed action with new series. Callahan swings and fouls. Winnipeg and Cleburne succumbed to rain yesterday. Got a twin bill going on today, and those two teams resuming their game today. And then during the process of resuming, the game rained out. They had a weather delay in southern Manitoba. Couple of balls and a strike on Callahan, the pitch, and here's a ground ball towards the middle, played cleanly by Aiden Byrne, shuffles and throws to first, and that's all for Kansas City here in the top of the first inning. But a couple of doubles, Kansas City 1 run on 2 hits. If no Redhawks errors, 1 runner left on. We played a half inning tonight from Fargo. It's Kansas City 1, the Redhawks coming to bat. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Bottom of inning number 1 coming up. Good to have you on Gray TV today. And AA Baseball TV and our radio flagship home of 740 The Fan. The Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks and the Kansas City Monarchs. The Redhawks facing Austin Hansen tonight. And the defense for those Monarchs, Grant Richardson in left, Hudson Head in center, Marcus Smith in right. Austin Callahan and Josh Bissonette on the left side of the infield. Saheed Valenzuela, Nick Martini on the right side with Brady Lindsley catching. So here is Jesus Luhano. He leads things off for Fargo-Moorhead. He really has been a straw that stirs the drink at the top of the order for Redhawks manager and World Series champion Chris Coast. Joe Dominic, bench coach. Robbie Lopez, bullpen coach. Luhano leads off, followed by Juan Fernandez, the catcher, and Dylan Thomas in right field, batting third. Jose Sermo batting back here tonight. Jose was away last night with a family, graduation family, so that was good. Luhano swings and lines a ball to left field. As we said, he is the straw that stirs it at the top of the order for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. And Luhano will lead off single off the right-hander Austin Hansen. That'll bring up Juan Fernandez. Juan Fernandez back. For those new listeners and viewers, we chronicled yesterday Juan, who such a gamer, takes a strike here. Juan last Friday night was experiencing some pretty decent pain in his stomach area, and while the team was in Milwaukee, a pitch on the way. Fernandez takes strike 2. Vomiting in the dugout, stomach hurt. There are obviously issues with that. Weren't quite sure what it was, and eventually later that night after the game, he was removed from the game. About midnight, taking a little ride to the Milwaukee ER after a battery of tests. He found kidney stones. Fernandez swings and launches the ball high in the air to deep right center field. The wind's blowing out that way. This ball is off the fence in right center. Rounding second on his way to third is Luhano, and Juan Fernandez. A double here in the bottom of the first inning. Boy, he just missed sending that into Albrecht Boulevard. Mentioned a slight breeze tonight blowing, and that's the jet stream here at Newman. Called a few games here at Newman Outdoor Field since 1996, and yes, it's short down the lines, old Yankee Stadium, with that stream in right center field. Especially on a night like tonight, slight breeze that way, that ball will take off, and Juan got all of that. And here is Dylan Thomas. Got the Redhawks down 1-0. Yeah, we'll see what Dylan Thomas can do. Can he drive in a run? Better yet, can he drive in two? The pitch, swing and a miss, and Thomas Gets a breaking pitch right out of the gate. Thomas hitting third, then Jose Sermo, Trip Clark, Colby Wilkerson, Jarus Richards, Brian Fuentes, and Aiden Byrne. The pitch is low and away. Dylan Thomas hit a grand slam home run last night. And we had found out that was his first grand slam of his career. Thomas lines a ball, fair ball down the right field line. This is going to get 2 in. Coming in to score, Luhano. Coming in to score, Fernandez. Dylan Thomas, a 2-run double. And the Redhawks have taken a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Single, double, double for the Redhawks here in the bottom of 1. And Thomas getting that bat head through, pulling that ball up the right field line here at Newman. For Dylan Thomas, RBIs number 20 and 21 on the season. His 6th double of the year. The Redhawks trying to keep that train moving. And here's Jose Sermo. Well, Sermo, big bopper, big swing. Jose had a graduation in the family last night, so he had made the trip home. Came back, flew back today. And the switch hitting slugger, second all-time career home run leader in the league. Hansen the pitch. Sermo takes a fastball up and away. Jose Sermo, second in the league now in home runs. Sitting on 9 homers and 26 runs batted in this season. Check swing, they say, yeah, he went. Alex Endel, the third base umpire. Well, the Redhawks bats were hot last night. And Sermo just couldn't hold up on that check. So now down to the count 1-2 at the very least, trying to get Dylan Thomas 90 feet over. Now he's trying to knock him in. And he sends a ball to short, knocked down by Bissonette. Picks it up and throws on to first. And we talked about the 2 shortstops in this game. And a couple of dandy shortstops here. Aiden Byrne for the Redhawks and Bissonette. Josh made some plays last night that were pretty spectacular. And we saw a lot of offense last night, but we saw some defensive plays. Grant Richardson last night, the left fielder for Kansas City, took a potential home run or at least an extra base hit away from Carlos Amaya. Here's Trip Clark. Clark swings and fouls back. Well, Trip Clark has found a way for Chris Coast to have him in that lineup pretty much every game. The way he has hit. Had a 5-hit game on Sunday in Milwaukee. Clark lays off a pitch high from Austin Hansen. And as baseball would have it, yesterday the Redhawks 16 runs, 19 hits, and the one guy that had been held hitless till late was Trip Clark. And what did he do in his last at bat? Doubled to right field. Check of the runner in the pitch. Clark takes low. Lindsley behind the plate. Making a stop. Couple of balls and a strike on Trip Clark. These two teams will play a day game tomorrow at 12:30 start time here at Newman. 2-1 offering. Clark sends a bounding ball foul up the third base line. That's a Rovello tire foul ball. Rovello delivering complete game performance at a home run price. It's shop today at Corwin Auto Group in Fargo-Moorhead and available at all 5 Fix-It Forward auto locations in Fargo-Moorhead. Couple of balls, couple of strikes, and Trip Clark. Redhawks leading 2-1 on a 2-run double by Dylan Thomas. Here's the set by the right-hander to pitch. Clark pulls this one foul as well. Much like last night, Kansas City jumped out with the 2 runs in the top of the first inning, and it was imperative the Redhawks, who have been chasing runs the last week and a half, 2 weeks, to answer, and they did in the bottom of 1, and then really did with a 5-run second inning last night. The set and the pitch home. Clark takes high and having a good quality at bat right now. Trip Clark. A leadoff single by Luhano. Fernandez the double. Thomas the 2-run double. Sermo grounded to short, and here's Clark with a full count. The payoff pitch is lined towards the middle on a hop played at second and bobbled at second. Dylan Thomas puts the brakes on and gets back to third in time. Well, Sahid Valenzuela up the middle on a ball where he was shifted up the middle. It'll go down as an error on Sahid. Little one-hopper behind second, and he just kind of got caught, and the ball got through him. So the Redhawks will try to take advantage of this error here in the bottom of the first inning. And the batter is Colby Wilkerson. Switch hitter, former North Carolina Tar Heel, lays off a pitch high. I'd imagine that Colby's excited. Got the alma mater. Going to be in Omaha in that College World Series. Sees the go in Missoula in the Pioneer League. Trying to drive it a run here in the bottom of the first. The pitch, breaking pitch low and away. And Wilkerson has been a pleasant addition to the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks club. Joined the team a couple games deep into the season when the team was in Cleburne to start the year. Hansen, the pitch home. That's a ball low, and it's 3-0 in Colby Wilkerson. Redhawks needed to make some moves early because right out of the gate, Jarus Richards, a bullpen big arm, went to Mexico. And then the Redhawks, Matt Kroon, the AAA third baseman, too, going to Mexico early on. 3-0 pitch is high, and guess what? The Redhawks have the bases loaded. A 4-pitch walk to Colby Wilkerson, and now you deal with Jarus Richards, and Matt Hull, the pitching coach, coming out to chat with the starter, Austin Hansen. Fargo-Moorhead began the year 4-0. Red hot, putting up a lot of runs in Cleburne. Then Cleburne found a way to flip the script in that 7-game series and win the final 3. So the Redhawks, to start the year, came back home and then dropped 5 out of 6 at home in their first homestand. And then went on the road, won 2 out of 3 at Sioux Falls, but then dropped 5 straight to Kansas City, Milwaukee, and salvaged a win on Sunday. And now last night, the Big Bats going 116-6, and here they are trying to just build off that win yesterday. Now the batter is Jarus Richards. So the bases are full of Redhawks here in the bottom of the first. The pitch is low for a ball. Boy, and the more often that Austin Hansen gets behind in the count, obviously advantage Fargo-Moorhead. Richards trying to get a ball in the outfield somewhere to get a run across. The pitch is a ground ball right side. Base hit right field for Jarus Richards. Thomas comes in to score. Clark is on his way in, and he'll score 2. It's a 2-run knock for JR, and it's 4-1 Fargo-Moorhead. It's a bounding ball to the right side between the 3-4 hole. And Jarus Richards with RBIs 16 and 17 on the season. A good start tonight for Fargo-Moorhead. Again, picking up where they left off last night. And this man last night, Brian Fuentes, a 3-hit night, including a 3-run home run off the scoreboard in left center field. And the Redhawks swinging it well as Fuentes takes up and in. And it's nice. Chris Coast always talks about, you expect your superstars to do what they do. But you get production, get production at that bottom of that lineup. And the Redhawks certainly got that last night and getting it again today. There's ball 2 down in the zone. Well, you never quite can tell how many runs are needed to win a game. We have that saying here at Newman Outdoor Field. More would be just enough. The Redhawks trying to add more here. Brian Fuentes. The pitch is low, ball 3. Aiden Byrne waits on deck. 4 hits in the inning for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. They pushed across 4 runs. 3-0 the count, and Fuentes, well, he had the green light. The pitch is outside. He walked him. Well, 2 batters ago was a 4-pitch walk, and now the Redhawks have reloaded the bases, and the 9th man of the plate is Aiden Byrne. And I'll let you in a little secret. Now, I don't know if Chris Coast will do this, but when we talk about applying pressure, sometimes Chris Coast will roll the dice and have Aiden Byrne and maybe sometimes lay something down. Now, that said, Kansas City is well aware of that. The corners are, well, at least at third base, Callahan playing in as Byrne takes outside for a ball. I think in this instance, you're telling the rookie, Aiden Byrne, Burnsy, go ahead. You get one, handle it. Shoot that barrel throw. If it's on the pull side, try to hit the Fargo Dome. The right-hander's 1-0 pitch is down and away, ball 2. And right now, Austin Hansen not finding that zone. And sometimes that first inning is the bugaboo inning. And he's found himself behind now in his last several hitters. 2-0 the count, 4-1 the score. Redhawks leading the pitch. That's a strike. And of course, the fans, they want every pitch not called a strike, but that was a good one. And Hansen will see what he comes back with here. The runner at third, Wilkerson. Richards in second. Fuentes at first, and the pitch. Byrne dribbles one foul off his cleats. 2-2 the count. Top of the order, Jesus Luhano waiting on deck. Again, the fans here at the stadium, great fans here. If you've ever been to a game at Newman, they're on it right away. Waited 90 minutes for this one to start after the weather delay, and they've been treated to some offense here in inning number 1. 2-2 the count, and swing and a miss, and that time Hansen spun that past the bat of Aiden Byrne. 2 men out, we go back to the top of the order. The Redhawks have batted around here in inning number 1. Jesus Luhano will go in. Nasty pitch by Austin Hansen. Well, does Jesus Luhano have a couple of knocks in him? Shot one through the left side of the infield to start the bottom of the first inning. Now the Hawks have 4, but oh, what a base hit would do here. And there's a breaking pitch at the shoes for a ball. Jesus Luhano, a good bat to have up there. The right-hander's pitch. Luhano takes a pitch inside and low, and it's 2-0. And Richardson in left field. Hudson Head in center field. Marcus Smith in right. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Well, Austin Hansen confident in that. 2-0. Jesus might have been sitting dead red. Instead, Hansen twists that ball up there and gets a swing and a miss. Bases full of Redhawks, and the pitch to the plate. Swing and a miss, and he does it again. So Austin Hansen has found something right now to go to that is inducing swings and misses. Right-handers, that spinning pitch down and away, got Byrne to chase a couple. Now with the left-handed batter, Jesus Luhano has gotten some. The count is even. 2-2 pitch is just a bit outside. On top of that, he's had to throw a few pitches here in inning number 1. We saw Kansas City had to roll through a few pitchers last night. Runners will take off with a pitch. The payoff pitch is hit in the air to left center field, hanging up. Richardson is over. He will put it away, and the Redhawks are out here in the bottom of the first, but not before Fargo-Moorhead scores 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 3 men left on base. After 1 inning tonight from Newman, it's the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks 4, Kansas City 1. This is FM Redhawks Baseball. Top of inning number 2 here at Newman Outdoor Field. The Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks down 1-0 going into the bottom of the first inning. Put 10 men to the plate, scored 4 runs, had 3 stranded, and let's see what round number 2 has, so to speak, here between these two clubs. Be Sahid Valenzuela, Hudson Head, and Brady Lindsley due up against the right-hander Hunter Day. 4-1, Fargo-Moorhead. Redhawks in their white tops, white pants with red lettering trimmed in that black as Day delivers a strike in there. The right-hander in the line, the pitch, and there's a knock into center field and a base hit for Zahid Valenzuela. His 23rd hit of the season, and like we said, here we go. And these two teams are like, it is a little bit like a prize fight. They've had classic Western Division playoff matchups between each other over the years, one having to get through the other to get to a title series, so on and so forth. So getting outs today hasn't exactly been easy, and the batter Hudson Head, a talented left-handed batting center fielder. Days fires a pitch away. Ball one. Hey fans, a great game plan for the summer. Hit the road, catch an event, explore the outdoors, make memories in North Dakota. Your next adventure is waiting at hellond.com. There's ball two. Last night, 3.5 hours of 22 combined runs in yesterday's game. There were 30 combined hits. There were a few errors combined in last night's tilt. Here's a ground ball hit and knocked down by Wilkerson, fielded by Byrne, who dives to the bag to tag second, but a little late. So that'll be a base knock for Hudson Head. Great attempt by Colby Wilkerson. And back-to-back hits by Wilkerson, almost deflected on that dive, the ball to Byrne near second. If it had deflected a little bit closer to the bag, Byrne might have been able to just have a foot on the bag and field the deflection, but it was too far off. And great hustle by Zahid Valenzuela. Not only makes second, he preserves that infield hit by Hudson Head. So here come those Monarchs, and a left-handed batting catcher, Brady Lindsley, steps in. The pitch is popped up. Infield fly on the infield, drifting back is Byrne. It is not an infield fly, and now the ball drops in the outfield, and everybody's going to be safe. Richards came in. I'm not sure if he missed it halfway through, missed spotting it. A little too far back for Aiden Byrne. But that's an out that you need to get, and I think Jarus Richards came in, Byrne going back, and then there was just that brief moment where the ball sailed. Again tonight, there's a slight breeze kind of blowing out to right center, so that ball kind of floated back to shallow right center. And now the Redhawks are in a little pickle. Here we go. Thus saying round two. They're like boxers. Everybody going to throw a jab and a punch. We got a Josh Bissonette now, and he takes the ball away. Hunter Day has the one attribute for Hunter that I love, the poise of Hunter Day. He never gets too rattled as Bissonette shoots one foul over the retired numbers here at Newman Outdoor Field. And those are great numbers. Of course, Jackie Robinson, his number retired. Roger Maris, Fargo, North Dakota. Jeff Bittiger, the late Jeff Bittiger. Joe Mathis, saw Joe in town today. Jake Labor, Doug Simonic. Bissonette swings and sends a fly ball to right. This is going to get a run in. Catch made by Dylan Thomas. Tagging in from third, Zahid Valenzuela. On to third goes Hudson Head, and it's now 4-2 Fargo-Moorhead. Bissonette with the sacrifice fly. And now Hunter Day just looking to minimize a little damage here in the top of the second inning. And Marcus Smith, who doubled off the wall in center field last inning at the plate. The pitch is away for a ball. Now that fly ball in left field is the one that stands out here. Runners at the corners. The pitch is outside, 2-0. Day trying to obviously, if he can induce a ground ball here to a position player, can get out of it with one pitch. But easier said than done. Marcus Smith batting over 289 on the season. The right-hander's pitch is low, 3-0 with Nick Martini waiting on deck. I'm not so sure that's who you want if the bases were to be loaded, if you're Hunter Day. So Day's going to have to come back here. And don't sit on Marcus Smith, green light on 3-0. The right-hander from the set position, the pitch, and it's ball 4. 4-pitch walk, 4 pitches off the plate. Didn't want too much, and that's going to draw Chris Coast, the Redhawks manager and pitching coach. And Chris he's made a call to the pen. So Chris Coast is going to make an early call tonight. Maybe something he's noticed, maybe something just not exactly right with Hunter Day. And Coaster's going to make a call to the pen. So an early exit tonight. This is a Kia call to the bullpen tonight at Newman Outdoor Field. Kia Fargo SUVs bring space, style, and everyday capability wherever the road takes you. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return. We're in the top of inning number 2, and it's on tonight in Fargo. Bases loaded for Kansas City when we come back. It's Fargo-Moorhead 4, the Monarchs 2. This is Redhawks baseball. Field in Lexington, his previous club. Again, a classification of a rookie, and I mentioned in Milwaukee, got 3 innings of work, and he looked sharp. 3 strikeouts, no walks, no runs, and Brassfield on here. So Chris Coast saying, you know what, Bryce, but I'll bring you in here. And maybe a guy that they'll stretch out to and use in a starting role. But, boy, he inherits 3 runners. And now the guy he faces now is Nick Martini. And not many pitchers want this. Martini 3 for 5 last night, and Brassfield delivers low for a ball. Now the Redhawks scored 4 in the bottom of the first inning, but it's important to note they also left 3 on base in the bottom of the first inning. Now we flip to the top of the second, and Kansas City's already pushed across 1, and they've got the bases loaded. Brassfield pitch inside, and it's 2-0. A Bryce, strong young man. I think for Chris Coast, when you are scratching and fighting to get wins, eventually trying to get back to 500. We talked about that with Chris on the pregame show. You're facing the top team in the Western Division. You don't want to see this thing, 4-1 lead, pretty soon turn into a Kansas City tie, and then Monarchs taking the lead. So Brassfield trying to slam the door here. Here's a well-struck ball, but pulled foul up the first base line. Bryce Brassfield from Gilbert, Arizona, St. Cloud State at time, also collegiately down at Phoenix College. Martini sends a fly ball to left field. This will be another sacrifice fly. Catch made by Jarus Richards. Tagging from third is Hudson Head, and the Monarchs have pulled within a run, now trailing 4-3. But if that's what Kansas City gets, and the Redhawks can lead the top of the second with a lead still intact, you take it. Well, Nick Martini, 3 for 5 last night. An RBI here today, and the batter is Saul Garza, who smashed the ball to the deep left center field alley last inning with an RBI double. So Garza at the plate. The pitch on the way, Brassfield popped him up into the dusk. Jesus Luhano says, I see it, I got it, and he does. And Brassfield comes in, gets a couple of outs. That's what the Redhawks needed here. And Kansas City will settle for 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. We played an inning and a half tonight from Newman. We got a ball game. It's Fargo-Moorhead 4, Kansas City 3. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Top of the third, or check that, bottom of the second inning in Newman Outdoor. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Bottom of the second inning, the Redhawks leading at 4-3, and already we see the combination platter combined 7 runs already on 9 hits in this game. What is it about these two teams? They're either playing low-scoring tight games or high-scoring games. You get a little bit of everything, and we'll see if the Redhawks can answer and maybe get a run or 2 back here in the bottom of 2. We'll send up Juan Fernandez, Dylan Thomas, and Jose Sermo as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Fans, if you're heading into a concession stand, make it a carbless run. Ready to drink cocktails, deliver bold flavor in every sip. Made with real spirits, 0 sugar, 0 carbs. Get a carbless and enjoy the game with flavor that's out of the park. First pitch, a ball low to Juan Fernandez. He doubled off the right center field wall his first at bat. Takes a pitch low here. Redhawks sent 10 men to the plate in the first inning. I'm sure the fans would love to see that again in inning number 2. Up 4-3. And the pitch. That's a strike. You take a peek at that American Association scoreboard today. Lake Country, a big story in the AA this season. There's a strike over the inside corner to Jimmy. And Juan calls for time. And Juan Fernandez, one of the great all-star in this league. A great Batman. We talk about it, part of his nickname, Batman. Tough man to put away. And he just got put away by another devastating slider from Austin Hansen. Man, that ball just disappearing, and Hansen with his second strikeout tonight. Well, that ball just dropping off the plate. And here's Dylan Thomas. Mentioned Thomas last night at Big Blasts. That was the talk. Hawks hit a couple of home runs. The 2 home runs they hit accounted for 7 runs in the game. Eli Swanson and I were chatting today, director of broadcasting for the Redhawks, and I don't know if this you chalk up to a coincidence with Dylan's grand slam. The pitch is rifled into right field, his second base hit of the game. So he's got a single and a double. But tonight is Dylan Thomas's 1,199th game played professionally. 1199. And I'm not kidding you, and Eli Swanson can confirm this. Do you know what the price of a Grand Slam breakfast at Denny's is? It's exactly right. And here's Sermo, who swings and flies the ball to right field. Marcus Smith turns around and makes the catch. That's with add-ons, I'm sure. The posse loves that. I'm looking downstairs, our listeners going, you don't get that kind of stats just anywhere. You have to be, see? Yeah, Dylan Thomas last night played in his 1198th game, and tonight is 1199, and that is the price of a Denny's Grand Slam. Now that's Eli Swanson research. Terrific. Here's a line drive by Tripp Clark up the middle. Boy, hard to keep this guy out the base pass. And Clark's reached twice that a day. We were joking with Dylan Thomas, and you look tonight, he's got a single and a double, and not to just reference everything food, but now I suppose we're moving over to that Wendy's side restaurant, a single and a double. Maybe he'll get a... Well, can the Redhawks, who did a lot of work last night, with 2 outs, and put a lot of runs up last night with 2 outs. Seeing if they can repeat that feat today. Kobe Wilkerson, switch hitting second baseman. Right-hander from the set. Long pause on the hill. Pitch clock at 4 seconds. Now the pitch, and it's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Dylan's mom, Karen, the lovely Karen, reminded me last night that was DT's first Grand Slam. Here's a base hit by Wilkerson. This could get a run in, and there's going to be a play at the plate. Here comes the throw from Smith, the slide, and it is in time for the out. Marcus Smith guns down DT at home. What a toss by Marcus Smith in right field. 1 hop to Brady Lindsley, the catcher. And as much as DT got a good jump, hit that corner at third, a perfect toss to home by Marcus Smith, the right fielder of Kansas City. Man alive, right on the money, and Lindsley able to field it and just apply the tag, and the Hawks are out here in the second inning. Now the Redhawks, no runs. They get 3 hits, no errors, and leave 2. We played 2 tonight from Newman. It's Fargo-Moorhead 4, Kansas City 3. This is Redhawks baseball. Well, we played 2 innings, and we've had a little bit of action. The Monarchs put up 1 in the first inning and a couple of doubles. The Redhawks counted with 4 in the bottom half. At the Pets here tonight and the Service Dogs here tonight. Those of you tuning in, it's good to have you on Great TV tonight at AA Baseball TV. And our partner with Valley News Live, the 365, Digital 11.4, and of course our flagship radio home of AM 740 The Fan. Here's Grant Richardson. Brassfield's pitch fouled back. Come a long way, and the ability for fans to follow this great American association. Good breaking. Ooh, my, Brassfield brought it in the back door. Good young arm on this hill for Fargo-Moorhead, this rookie right-hander. Redhawks have a lot of good rookies, and a number of them in the pitching department. But yeah, the ability to sync up, radio calls into the video and the television and the different platforms like Gray. Come a long way since that first broadcast 31 years ago. Ball fouled back.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Max Fuller.
It's turned into a nice evening here in the Red River Valley. 0-2 the count on Grant Richardson. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And Brassfield able to get that past him. Put a little something on it. And a strikeout for Brassfield. You can close the book on Starter Hunter Day tonight as Brassfield, that ball just cuts past the bat. Hunter Day, an inning and a third, 5 hits and 3 runs. He ended up walking 1 and did not have a strikeout in the game. Brassfield begins the at-bat with Callahan on a pitch just off the plate outside. Again, another left-handed batter in this Kansas City lineup. If you've got right-handed arms, I'll say it before, you're going to go up against a gauntlet of left-handed batting Monarchs. The pitch drilled to right field. This is trouble. Down the right field line. It's up. It is back. And this ball is gone. A home run off the bat of Austin Callahan. Callahan's 3rd home run of the season. And this one ties the game at 4 here in the top of the 3rd. 3:14 down that right field line, and he sticks it onto Albrecht Boulevard. Austin Callahan having a week in Fargo. A 4-hit night last night. And tonight in Game 2 of the series, he clubs a home run that ties the game here in the 3rd. Presented by Carbliss Premium Cocktails. Celebrate with hard-hitting flavor. Here's Saheed Valenzuela. And he takes a breaking pitch low and inside. One 0 the count. A right-hander's pitch. And this ball lined into right field, a base hit. I tell you, these two teams are just slugging it out here at Newman. We knew that Kansas City, those bats were going to come alive, and now it's up to Bryce Brassfield and Juan Fernandez to mix some things up. Valenzuela chatting with Jose Sermo, the Redhawks first baseman. 1 out. Top of the 3rd, tied at 4. Here's Hudson Head. Head takes a strike. Now that game 1 of a doubleheader over in Winnipeg tonight. Cleburne winning that 8-5 in game 1. That was delayed tonight as well due to weather. Big swing and a miss. Good heat there from Brassfield. Kansas City 2nd in the league in team ERA. The Redhawks number 1 in team strikeouts. Kansas City 2 in team strikeouts. And you look at the offensive side of things, the Redhawks 3rd in the league in batting average as a team, 2nd in OPS, and 2nd runs scored. The pitch, high and away for a ball. Hudson Head singled his first at bat last inning, came around to score. All knotted at 4, 1 out, top of 3. And the pitch from Brassfield. A little bit up. 2-2 the count. A quiet night, dusk settling in. These two teams will turn around and play a 12:30 game tomorrow. Old Glory at Maple Leaf. Well, last night, the wind was blowing so hard last night out, it had wrapped the flags around the pole. That kind of wind. And tonight, in the wake of some showers that rolled through, a very still night on the north side of Fargo. Just a bit high again. 3-2 the count on Hudson Head. We'll keep our eye on Sahid Valenzuela. He's the runner at first. Well, they put him in motion to try to stay away from an inning-ending double play. Brassfield, there goes the runner. The pitch is low and away, ball 4. He walked him. And runners at first and second for Kansas City here in the top of the third. So Brassfield got up in that count to Hudson Head, tried to pinpoint some balls elevated in the outer half of the plate, and the Redhawks are in one tonight. Kansas City, this is that pesky Monarch team that the Redhawks saw last week in KC. Brady Lindsley, he's 1 for 1 tonight. Singled last inning, was left stranded. All knotted at 4 and a pitch is fouled straight back. Not a Rovello Tire foul ball. Rovello Tires, you know what I'm talking about. Rovello Tires available at Big Jim's Tire in Grand Forks or at All City Auto and Service in West Fargo. Also available at Fargo Tire in Fargo. 1 strike, the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike 2. Came back a little breaking pitch there. Milwaukee and Gary in a tight one tonight. 3-2 in the 6th. Milwaukee leading by a run. The right-hander's pitch. Swinging a foul again. Lindsley staying alive. Sioux Falls in the 8th inning with a 10-2 lead on Sioux City tonight. The Canaries starting play tonight, 3 games back of this Kansas City team for first place in the West. Brassfield, the right-hander for the Redhawks, trying to put away Lindsley. And a line drive, this is trouble towards the alley left center field. Ranging over is Richards. He tracks it down and makes the catch in Amen Alley. Jarus Richards on his feet, tracking that down in left center, and that's what speed does when you play outfield here at Newman Outdoor Field. And especially center or at times left, you've got to be able to run and get in that big gap, and Richards able to do that. Boy, that's a large catch. Well, instead of a potential 2-bagger that could have maybe put 2 runs in, it's a long out. Here's Josh Bissonette, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Well, the rain we had too, and again, kudos to the Redhawks grounds crew. They're fantastic. And and the Redhawks staff that were tarping. I'd imagine there's parts of the outfield that might be a little slick in that grass with that rain. The 0-1, just a bit outside. Got the puddles that formed earlier today around the track. Those are drained and squeegeed and diamond dried and looking good. 2 on, 2 out. The pitch, that's away. Colby Kaiser going tomorrow for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. Tomorrow afternoon. Jimmy Endersby pitching tomorrow for Kansas City. A couple of balls and a strike on Bissonette. Takes high, ball 3. Josh Bissonette, we've said before, has a good eye. It's a man that has walked as many times as he struck out this year. Just a little bit up and off the plate. So you don't want Marcus Smith, that dangerous hitter on deck left-hander. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. And nothing against Josh Bissonette. But you take the righty on righty versus the righty against Marcus Smith. And now Bryce Brassfield, his battery mate, Juan Fernandez, going to try to figure something out to get out number 3 here in the 3rd. Valenzuela will take off from second. Head will leave from first. The payoff pitch. Swinging a foul tip held on by Juan Fernandez and Bryce Brassfield. Big strikeout here to end the top of the 3rd inning. And Kansas City limited to that solo home run off the bat of Austin Callahan. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the bottom of 3. We got a new game. Fargo-Moorhead 4, Kansas City 4. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Bottom of inning number 3, beautiful Newman Outdoor Field. All locked up at 4. Redhawks trying to take a series. The Redhawks' first homestand dropped 2 series to Kane County and Lake Country. I'm referring to Lake Country, who has taken a series from Lake Country. The way they're playing, they've won 14 straight. Rained out today. They'll play 2 tomorrow in Geneva, Illinois. Well, Austin Callahan, who has 5 hits already in this series in Fargo, has tied the game 4-4 with a solo shot in the top of his 3rd. We'll see if the Redhawks can respond. Jarus Richards, Brian Fuentes, and Aiden Byrd. And if we didn't have a pitch clock violation, I think we got a time called there. Jarus Richards got a 2-run single to right field tonight, so he's 1 for 1 in the game. The pitch is low and away. Those of you taking in Gray TV today and AA Baseball TV, there was opening shot coming back in to the bottom of 3. There's that look out to center. There's a pitch low and beyond the batter's eye. And if you're new to Redhawks baseball in this gorgeous park, now 31 years old, it was constructed in 95. First season was 1996. Richards takes high, but the region had been without baseball for 3.5 decades, and you might recall the old FM Twins, by the way, the FM Twins. And they played at a stadium, 3-0 pitches, ball 4, and the Redhawks had their leadoff man aboard. The Twins played at a stadium called Barnett Field, not a stadium, Barnett Field. And where Barnett Field is in relation to Newman Outdoor Field, if you were to go from home plate and jump over the batter's eye in center field and jump over the track complex in North Dakota State, keep going straight, eventually, and not too far away, is Fargo North High School, north side of Fargo. And right there, that area was where Barnett Field was. And some memories there. Pitch up and in. Ooh, my. Hanson let that one get away. Fuentes moved off the plate. Yeah, and just, I talked about the retired Roger Maris jersey here. Runner taken off. Pitches inside. Great jump by Richards, and that's a stolen base. Jarus Richards heads down to second. Sir Speedy Fargo.com stolen base. Print signs, marketing, fast turnaround. Contact SirSpeedyFargo.com or call 298-9898. FM Twins, the broadcaster, legendary Manny Margetts. Well, Fuentes, and now they play on at second. Bluff throw. Manny Margett. And when a young broadcaster 31 years ago, not so young anymore, but I had a lot of the legends in town, those that remember the days. Bruce Thome, the late Bruce Thome, the general. There's a strike. They would, he's part of that knothole gang and peer through that hole, and Bruce would tell me, and Manny Margett would get so involved in the broadcast, he'd forget he was broadcasting the FM Twins, and he'd be screaming at umpires out of the booth. Fuentes grounds one foul past the camera well down the third baseline. 2-2 the count. Well, at the very least, Fuentes knows that his job here, as much as he wants to drive a run in, at the very least, can he advance Richards to third? And he fouls off another one. Then the Redhawks would have a runner at third with less than 2 outs, and a fly ball could give the Redhawks a lead after that. So at the very least, making contact, but trying to advance that runner. Austin Hanson, and again with the pitch count that rose in inning number 1, second inning a little cleaner. A 2-2 is high, ball 3. Like last night, we knew that the starters were just probably not going to factor too long in the game. Three-two pitch is just a bit low. He walked him, and a good at bat by Brian Fuentes. And now my longtime broadcast partner, Maury Wills, the great Dodger, was next to me. He'd say, Jack, hope he gets his bunt down, Jack. Everybody in the stands, as Aiden Byrne, my guess is here, will be called upon to put that bat horizontally and try to advance these runners via the bunt with Luhano on deck. Now, can you execute the sacrifice bunt? There's the square, and he bunts it perfectly back towards the mound. Going to be a close play at first, and just in time to get it. But that is execution, and Aiden Byrne does his job here in the bottom of the third inning. Well, the sacrifice is good. Nice play. Way to bounce off the mound, Austin Hansen. 1-3 on the put on the sacrifice bunt. That pitch kind of came in, and Burnsy, that's just... Speaking of the late Maury Wills, he would be awfully proud of that bunt right there. Now the Monarchs look like they'll concede the run in the middle infield and the right side to get the out. Luhano sends a ball to right center field. This ball hit pretty well, and it clears the center fielder Hudson Head. It is off the wall in center field. This is going to get two in. Coming in to score is Richards. Coming in to score is Fuentes. It's a two-run triple for Jesus Luhano, and it's 6-4 Fargo-Moorhead. How about that? I mentioned earlier that the breeze had died down, but I talked about the jet stream here at Newman for some reason. That right center, that's it. It just takes off on that part of the field. And Luhano got good barrel on that, and that is Jesus Luhano's first triple of the season. He drives in two, and now Juan Fernandez is hit by a pitch. Fastball came running in, and Jimmy... Man, that's smarts. This poor man, I was in an emergency room with Juan Friday night with athletic trainer Alyssa Tapey and Jose Sermo. He's battling kidney stones. He still has him, by the way. And you're playing with that already. I don't know if you've had that, but that's a pain. And then he gets clubbed in his belly. I mean, go figure. To be hit, and you're already battling kidney stones, and now you just got hit not far from the kidney. That poor guy. He's in an ER Friday night all night. Tough guy, by the way. Tough guy. Obviously, Hansen wasn't trying to club him. And here's Dylan Thomas. He's 2 for 2 in the game. The pitch, he lays off the pitch high. Just another game between Fargo-Moorhead and Kansas City at the old ball yard. A right-hander sets, and the pitch is away. Well, the fans waited an hour and a half, and then the movie started. And it's been a blockbuster, and we're not even a third of the way through tonight. Trying to add more here in the third inning. And Thomas swings. This will get a run in off the end of his stick deep to center field. Setting to tag from third base is Luhano, and he'll jog in, and the Redhawks have a 7-4 lead. Third run batted in tonight for Dylan Thomas. He now has 7 runs batted in this series. A sac fly. That brings another trip to the mound. I don't see any activity brewing yet in Kansas City's bullpen. But again, they had to go through pitchers last night with the 16 runs the Redhawks put on the board. Dakota Chalmers last night, the starter, only went 2 2/3 innings. And then now you got to start burning some of your arms early in a series. Dylan Hyde came in, pitched an inning and a third. And Miguel Fajencio came in, pitched 2 innings. Wyatt Wendell, new addition, pitched an inning. And now we've got at least some mulling around. Jacob Gomez is up in that pen standing for Kansas City. That meeting over on the hill. A leadoff walk to Jarus Richards. He stole second. The walk to Fuentes, the perfectly executed sacrifice bunt by Aiden Byrne, and the 2-run triple by Fuentes. Then Fernandez hit by a pitch. Thomas is sac fly, and 3 runs have scored here in the bottom of the third for Fargo-Moorhead. Here's Jose Sermo. Hansen from the set, the pitch. Jose takes a look at a ball that bounces in front of the plate. Hansen certainly doesn't want to throw anything around this guy's kitchen. When you look at the numbers of the career home run leaders in the American Association all time, number 1 is Jabari Henry. Number 2 is this man at the plate, Jose Sermo. And the pitch. Swung on and hitting here into straightaway center field, drifting back his head, now comes in, and he doesn't see it, and the ball drops. He got lost in the lights. Fernandez is rounding third. He'll come in and score, and the Redhawks have an 8-4 lead. And I think why Juan Fernandez hesitated, because the scoreboard, and maybe he knows better, but Sermo able to get that in. And prior to that, Dylan Thomas reaching on that air, and then just one out, and Thomas is over at third base. And the Redhawks trying to take advantage, and the pitch, a breaking pitch in for a strike to Trip Clark. And it's that time of night. Clark checks his swing. Did he go? No, they say he did not. It'll be a base hit for Sermo and a run batted in. It's that time of night as we talk about, and Heads had a little adventure in center field. The pitch fouled back. I looked earlier at fly ball by Thomas. Everybody wrote down in their book a sac fly, and didn't realize that misplayed out in center field. And Fargo-Moorhead leading 8-4. And here's a well-struck ball to center. This ball's hit a ton, and this ball clears the center fielder Hudson Head. Thomas will score easily. He's in. It's an RBI double for Trip Clark, and it's 9-4 Fargo-Moorhead. Boy, Trip Clark on base for the third time tonight. And his second hit. Clark is fifth double of the season. And that'll be it for Austin Hansen. So Joe Calfapietra coming out. And the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks have added 5 runs here in the bottom of the third inning. So an early exit tonight for Austin Hansen. This pitching change presented by Kia of Fargo. The Redhawks, who put 16 on the board last night, have 9 on the board tonight. And they're in the third inning and close to batting around for the second time of the game. We'll tell you about the new pitch when we return. Bottom 3, Fargo-Moorhead 9, Kansas City 4. This is Redhawks baseball. Gomez is on for Kansas City, making his appearance, his 10th appearance. 10 in the third innings pitch, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a 5.23 earned run average. And Kansas City going to bring the infield in, trying to cut off would-be run. Sermo is the runner at third. Trip Clark on at second. And the pitch is away for a ball. Richards and leadoff walk, stole second. Fuentes walked, the sac bunt by Byrne, the big 2-run triple by Luhano. Fernandez hit by a pitch. Thomas reaching on a misplayed ball in center. 1-0 pitch inside, 2-0. And Sermo gets the base hit. Now Clark, that scores a run. Clark gets a RBI, and here's a ground ball that is gloved by Bissonette, knocks it down, picks it up, and fires to first. Picked at 1B by Martini. Well, the infield tight for the second time. The Redhawks have batted around.
49, Jarus Richards.
9-4 Fargo-Moorhead. And Jarus Richards got it all going with a free pass. Lefty versus lefty. The pitch, Richards takes high and tight. More, say the saying, more would be just enough. You do not know what that number is going to be tonight. The way Kansas City has put traffic on the base pass, I'm sure Chris Coase says, got a couple ducks on the pond here, JR. And sweeping slider, swing and a miss. Wilkerson grounds out to the drawn-in infield. 2 men out. 9-4 Fargo-Moorhead. The 1-1 pitch is lifted foul up the third base line. A big Redhawks thank you going out to Randy's Diner for providing the post-game meals for both teams tonight. Here's a little secret. We've already tasted some of it today. It is fantastic. What a great place Randy's Diner is. 1-2 pitch is low. Randy's University Diner, Fargo, and Randy's Diner 2 near the lights in West Fargo. Fast, friendly service. 46 years. Homestyle cooking. I'm going to make you hungry. It's Swedish meatballs, mashed potato, and corn tonight. 2-2 the count, and Jarus Richards the pitch. And he pulls the ball to right field. Smith, though, coming on. He's got it. And there is out number 3. But the Redhawks bat around again. And Fargo-Moorhead putting across 5 runs. 4 hits, and was an error, and a couple runners left on base. We're through 3 tonight at Newman. Our score, Redhawks 9, Kansas City 4. This is FM Redhawks baseball. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Night beginning to fall here, and it almost has a Saturday night feel to it tonight on a Wednesday. But 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Fargo-Moorhead. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Kansas City. Just telling our producer Tommy Fox, if you've ever, you scored the game and a Thomas's ball to center field, misplayed by Hudson Head. I'd already written down sac fly in the book. Been scoring games since I've been 10 years old. But it was dust time and 2 balls that kind of lost in the lights. Now getting a little darker here. We go to the top of the order, Marcus Smith. And Smith sends a rocket to right center field, and he's got his second extra base hit of the game. Smith on his way to second. He might be thinking 3. He's thinking 3. Here comes the throw. It is off the line, and a triple for Marcus Smith. Like I said, you think 9's the number tonight. The way that Kansas City is putting boys on, and Marcus Smith can flat out fly. He was thinking 3 possibly right out of the gate. That ball's in front of him, and he was rounding first. He saw that go off the fence, and Smith hustles into third with his second triple of the season. And then Smith, I think, he maybe dislodged something or something didn't feel right. He's a big boy. He's over there at third base when he dove head first. Going to stretch something out over there, and here's Nick Martini. Which brings us to our Jack Michaels top Mount Rushmore in the 4. Your Mount Rushmore in the 4. As the left-handed batting Martini takes a pitch just away. Give me your Mount Rushmore of ball players whose last name has anything, and I mean anything remotely to do with a beverage. The pitch. Martini pulls one foul. Thus, easy one today. Your Mount Rushmore, your top 4 ball players whose last name has anything to do with a beverage. Thanks for playing. We'll give away 375 points per accepted response. 9-4 Fargo-Moorhead, but Kansas City right on the doorstep, threatening to put a run across. And nice pitch, Brassfield at the knees. Get strike 2. 1-2 the count. Rookie right-hander Bryce Brassfield came on in the second inning of relief tonight. Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for the youngster. Boy, getting the veteran Nick Martini. Boy, and he's got some wicked stuff. And if you haven't seen Brassfield, and a number of these Monarchs obviously have not, you're trying to quick study, and the only thing you can go on is what the other batters have seen from him. But until you see it, like taking a final test. Now the batter, Saul Garza, and the pitch. Strike. Last name, something to do Now, we'll keep it to baseball, by the way, tonight. The pitch, fouled away. Oh, 2 the count. Like Brassfield. Well, if he can get through the three-hole hitter Garza after a leadoff triple to Marcus Smith, lot to ask to keep that runner at bay here in the 4th. And Garza swings and launches the ball high in the air to deep left center field. Deepest part of Newman, deep. And this ball is bouncing off the fence in left center. Saul Garza rounding second. He's going to jog into third. An RBI triple for Saul Garza. And Kansas City now trailing 9-5. Ball jumping at Newman tonight. There have been some big hitters here. Garza's second run batted in. And his second extra base hit. On the bat, the tough thing for Bryce Brassfield, he yields a triple. That's just a 2-bagger. He's got a chance to maybe only allow 1 run in as he throws down and in for a ball. Again, the Monarchs will not go away. Grant Richards in the batter. We made that part of the streamline of this broadcast. Just seen him too many times. These Joe Cal teams, Joe Calfabientra, they are going to battle at that plate. And here's a broken bat, foul ball hit towards that UND deck down the first base line. Got a couple of great places you can catch Redhawks baseball as a group. Richardson will get a new stick at the Surfside patio down the third base side. Just a 4-run lead. Redhawks and Monarchs. Redhawks infield will concede the run. The pitch inside. Just hasn't been the shutdown innings. Now the Redhawks were shut down in the bottom of the second, but every other half inning played tonight, runs have come across the plate. Good pitch, but down low. And now it's 3-1. How long will Brassfield go? And will Chris Coast utilize, a number of bullpen guys here to try to get through this game too, and hopefully find a way to win it? Ball fouled back. Now, Redhawks fans, don't throw away that game day ticket once you're at the ballpark. You check that ticket back. Receive a couple $100 off the purchase of a vehicle or service of a maximum of $200. And a swing and a miss here. Big strikeout for Bryce Brassfield. Pulled the string. Second strikeout of the inning. 4th strikeout for Brassfield in relief. And Mazda and Kia Fargo giving that offer on the ticket backs, and on that ticket back, a buy one, get one free cheeseburger basket at Culver's. Well, Austin Callahan, 4 for 5 last night, 1 for 2 tonight with a home run, and he swings and sends a ball. This might be playable. The breeze is blowing it back. Fuentes, reaching over that fence. Just not long enough arms in that red deluxe section over there in that Sandy's Donuts area. Kids got themselves a ball. But it appeared that Fuentes might have had a shot, but just a little out of the reach. And then the scramble is on. Well, can Brassfield get out of this inning with only the 1 run against him? From the set, the right-hander's pitch. Off the hands, and hey, those kids just got another foul ball. Check that out-of-town scoreboard here in a second for you. Just nice to have you on tonight. The radio side of AM 740 The Fan. Great TV. Good to have you with us tonight. And AA Baseball, but not TV. 9-5. Redhawks lead, top of the 4th. And a line drive hit well to left field, but Richards is over. He's got it and makes the catch. Had to kind of peer through the lights and was able to spot it, grab it for out number 3. But the Monarchs get a run and a couple of hits, and they leave a runner. At the bottom of the 4th inning, Fargo-Moorhead 9, Kansas City 5. This is Redhawks baseball.
Time out for the Redhawks junior PA announcer, brought to you by M-State. Tonight we've got Matt
Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Those of you viewing tonight see the retired numbers at Newman Outdoor Field. And well, we've lost a few of those on those retired numbers. Nice job by our junior PA announcer, just over talking about those retired numbers at Newman. Jackie Robinson, of course, retired. Roger Maris. Lost Roger there in the mid-'80s. Jeff Bittiger, a tough loss. Obviously, he's meant the world to the Redhawks. He was there at the beginning as a pitcher and pitching coach from the start. Jake Labor, gone far, far too young. Beloved man, also part of that retired number. Doug Simonik, Joe Mathis, the other two. The skipper, Simi, one of the all-time great wins leaders and managers in independent ball history. And Smartin Joe. 0-1 pitch, nasty breaking pitch, and Brian Fuentes leading it off, down 0-2 in the count. Here's the thing, yes, the Redhawks put up 9 runs, 11 hits against John Austin Hansen. Hansen was falling behind, the bats were going. And as a Red Hawk fan, what you fear here now, you got to make that adjustment to Gomez. And, the Fawcett's been running pretty good, and Fuentes fouls off. Now, again, that's what relievers do. They come in and try to stop some of that bleeding. And Gomez is looking to do that. Fuentes, Byrne, and Luhano here in the Red Hawks' fourth inning. Got some good responses coming in. Jazz misses high, and I said, your Mount Rushmore top 4 ball players. Normally we go last name, but we had a submitted first name one that is so clever that I might have to award the points. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called at the knees, and Gomez flirted on the pitch before. This time buried one knee high, and a strikeout for Gomez, whose last name is a beverage, has anything to do with the beverage, but good pitch there by Gomez. But my man, the posse, Melky Cabrera, that's clever. I don't care who you are. We'll accept that first name and we'll award the points. Here's Byrne. And Aiden sends a liner into left field. A base hit by Aiden Byrne. Now Burnsy with his first hit tonight. He's 1 for 2. I like that. Randy Bush. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Bush, it's a beverage. Former Twin. Oh. Here's Jesus Luhano. He is singled, tripled in a couple of runs, flew out to left field. There are a couple of hits at the top of the order. Now facing the lefty Gomez. 2 for 3 for Luhano with 30 hits already on the season. And the pitch is down and away. Again, the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. This is just their 24th game of the year. Luhano with 30 hits already. Twins and Tigers, we talk about weather delays and what they've resumed. Twins leading Detroit 6-3 today, late. They throw to first, diving back in is Aiden Byrne. And the Redhawks have shown the propensity to take a bag. Callahan even with the bag at third. Bissonette and Valenzuela up the middle defensively. Martini holding on with Byrne. Leaning to second. The pitch home. Luhano sprays one foul. Look out. Eric P. chimes in, says, well, then put me down for Mike Schmidt. That'll play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Luhano. The pitch. Line foul again. Here at in most ballparks now, and I would imagine the only difference is how far the netting extends. But, it's getting to be a point now where I have faint memory of when there wasn't a net around the field. We look to first. And there goes Byrne. The pitch is outside. Perfect pitch to run on. It's in the dirt, and Byrne steals second. That's a Sir Speedy Fargo.com stolen base. And now the ball getting loose on the infield, and Burnsy's got the hot foot. He almost took off to third. Stolen base for Aiden Byrne. 298, 98, 98. Well, Aiden Byrne with his 5th stolen base of the season. And the Redhawks leading 9-5, trying to get a run back. And KC scored in the top of this inning. And the pitch. And again, Gomez spins one away, trying to get Luhano to chase something, spinning away. We're only in the bottom of the fourth inning. Yeah, that netting, and I'm trying to, maybe I'd ask Brad Thome what year that was, and maybe you know too. Payoff pitch, just a bit outside. He walked it, and Jesus Luhano is on for the third time tonight. Brings up Juan Fernandez. I know it's been a number of years, and I think when the nets first started being put up at ballparks, because we've seen some foul balls that have been wicked foul balls. And I think it got to be a point around baseball that said, boy, we are just, we're going to have to stick a net up here. And we'll see if Juan Fernandez can't drive a run in here. The right-hander, batter, and catcher. Here's the president of Redhawks, Brad Thome. Brad, I was trying to think.
I heard my name.
Yeah, you heard it. See that? When the netting came, Brad, I saw a kind of violent foul ball, and I thought, boy, remember in the day when there wasn't a net? Fernandez takes down low, and your heart, I know yours broke. Your dad, that would just break his heart.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing you can do about it, but someone get hit, and, it's like, what do you do?
I remember, the initial one was
just
one thing. It was within the frame.
Fernandez takes inside. Yeah, until it extended, but it was pretty open, Brett. 5 years, 6 years, 7. We've had this now so long, I've forgotten when it first put in.
Has
it been a decade?
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13.
Golly.
2012. We were one of the first ones, I remember.
2-0 pitch, and Jimmy sends one down the right field line. It is twisting foul. Yeah, and I know that initially my guess is fans and owners would say, "Oh, this is awkward."
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And that's normal.
A little blowback, but it's for the safety of the fans.
And I think now it's just become normal.
It
is right.
It is. I'm very thankful.
At every park. It
is.
It's at every major league. And
And the see-through netting, it's amazing how long this lasted. NetX has been absolutely amazing. In March we had a huge snowstorm, or April it was.
Yep.
And our netting fell down in our playground, and everything crushed in.
Kind of imploded.
So I called NetX, and he ended up having his huge project in Australia that he put on hold for us
to
get ours done. Yeah, fantastic guy.
Was that same storm that the sweet shot, the chain link of the big golf?
Yeah, probably. It was so heavy, a wet snow, and it just buckled in. And
Fernandez takes a strike down in the zone. And
I honestly think the old netting had been up since Blair Tweet was the last one to put up there. And
that
was quite a long time.
What a great name. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, my old college teammate in baseball. Nice drop.
Yeah.
2 on, 1 out. 2-2 the count on Fernandez. Gomez, the pitch home. And Juan just staying alive.
And that's actually the truth, though. I think he was the last one, yeah.
Hey.
He pieced it together. Now it's all one piece. It looks fantastic. The Bell Bank.
I hope Blair Tweed.
Yeah.
I hope his ears are ringing tonight. He was in the grounds crew, and he also, college player in the issue. And he also helped me track down and find the ball Darryl Motley hit.
Oh, yeah.
Fernandez chops the ball. If it takes one more bounce, it doesn't. Fielded by Valenzuela. That's going to turn into a double play to end the inning. That he's the only guy in Tim Flacco that agrees that Motley hit a ball 617 feet.
Or 564, whatever
maybe
it was.
580, maybe it was 671.
Somebody will call in.
It's getting bigger.
Or text you.
We are through 4 at Newman. It's Fargo-Moorhead 9, Kansas City 5. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks baseball all season long there at Newman Outdoor Field. I know Wednesday night, the one thing you can't control is the weather. And boy, those Rhodes Bacon serve. Boy, if you've ever, those that are watching tonight, and Brad, I'm all of a sudden hungry again looking at the cinnamon rolls from Rhodes Bacon serve.
Very good.
But kudos to the Redhawks fans, Brad. At Bell Bank night tonight, so we got some good sweet action going on, and employees of Bell Bank. The anthem singer, she was phenomenal tonight.
And 100 miles east of here in Wadena, the Big Hail. We lucked out, honestly.
And these fans that stayed. So we waited about an hour and a half, got entertained, fed their bellies, the concessions, and look at this action on the board. Hawks lead 9-5 as Gomez throws a pitch outside to Dylan Thomas.
I was talking with the guys building the new team in Blaine that's
Yep,
coming in. You know,
yep.
they're starting to move dirt right now, and they said, what do you like about
Thomas off the hands, fouls away.
your stadium? And I was like, one thing I'd like is having the covered concourse, where
Yeah.
people, if there is inclement weather, they can come back to the concourse and they have a place
Yeah.
dry to be. Where like Sioux City and Sioux Falls don't have that; they have to go underneath and behind. And
1-1 pitch, breaking pitch for a strike. No, that's a good point. And there's enough room where
yeah, absolutely,
people
you
can
get a couple
get in
thousand
there.
people
Yeah.
underneath there without an issue.
1-2 the count on Dylan Thomas. Some of the series he's putting together. And Thomas lines the ball to Marcus Smith out there in right field. Been a busy man. Good wood, though, for DT. He doubled in the first, singled in the second. And then in the third, he hit a fly ball that was going to be a sac fly, but misplayed by Hudson Head, and then lines out here. But DT was in such a rare funk that he was in, like in that Sioux Falls trip. And then, boy, he busted out of that, started in Milwaukee, and now is carried home here to the homestand. Here's Jose Sermo, batting right-handed, the switch hitter against the lefty Gomez.
Isn't it nice having a couple? I told Brett Bittiger, I said, I don't think I remember more than
On the switch
two
hitters?
or three switch hitters we've had, and we have two of them on our team this year.
Swing and a miss, and the count is even 1-1. Yeah, it is.
A rarity for us.
And legit. I mean, the Wilkerson kid, this kid's a couple years removed from North Carolina in college, was in Pioneer League in Missoula. When the Redhawks third baseman signed in Mexico, AAA guy, he needed to shore up some of that defense. You go grab this kid. And been a good Batman, and Sermo fouls away. A lot of damage because he's just swung more left-handed, Brad, but you got to be thrilled with that addition to the team,
Absolutely.
Colby Wilkerson.
Yeah, he's done quite well. Very happy with him. And Fuentes is starting to hit a little bit, which is great.
3 hits last night, including the scoreboard. Sermo takes low, 2 balls
Burns
and 2
warming
strikes.
up a little bit, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
Well needed.
Yeah, this is, after tonight, the season is 24% done. So you still have 76% to go. 2-2 pitch. Sermo cracks his back, but it's going to die a hero. That's a base hit to left field. That's going to cost a stick. Here's Brad Thome to tell you how much a baseball bat costs.
That was not a cheap one.
What?
But
Brad, how much was that hit, Brad? A couple hundred?
It was worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, and it's I don't remember what we're talking about now, Jack.
Well, Wilkerson a little bit.
Yeah, you got me on the
switch hitters.
Don't talk about the bats
Wilkerson
and the balls now, too.
Fuentes coming alive. You mentioned getting guys back. And
anyhow, yeah.
Well, this league and you're trying, and even big leagues are trying to pat their hands, so to speak. They're trying to build that deck that can compete at a high level. And batter here, Trip Clark. Case in point, ooh, there's a ball that just got out the hand of.
Just a bit outside.
I want you to hit the bull.
I had to say that.
Here, Bolt. Boy, Brad. The wild pitch advances. I mentioned to Chris Coast and Trip Clark here, and he saw this pitch, and that just slipped, got up. He's hit the ball so much, he can't afford not to have him in a lineup.
Trip's been a great asset, great surprise. I mean, he can catch. It's fantastic. And we got
Carlos Amaya's been a pitch on the way. Clark takes a strike. Good pitch.
Our
Gomez.
3 catchers, I believe, are top 3 of them are in the top 4 of our team and hitting right now.
When you look at when you start with an all-star like Fernandez, and Amaya certainly can hold his own, and now Trip Clark more than holding his own. 2 for 3 tonight. Ooh, swing and a miss. Now Gomez. That at times isn't fair. That's that little soft fader away. That is a tough pitch. And Clark goes the opposite way extremely well, I might add. He'll have to protect the pitch, and that's the slider. His recognition maybe of pitches, Brad, is to me really good about Trip Clark. He obviously can recognize some pitches.
He's a smart man for sure. Yeah, he's actually a CPA.
Yeah, counting in the offseason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got a job in Dallas lined up. 2-2 the count. Hawks lead 9-5, and Clark swing and a miss, and Gomez came back with a heat at 91. A little giddy up on that one. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 teams will be turning around and playing tomorrow. 12:30 first pitch, first business person special, business day game. But I was broadcasting
Yes.
my show today from
Rachel Ironero's.
a wellness. Yeah, we got that, and we had a local comedian stop by to say, "Hi, Jack, want to meet you?" And da-da-da. And he said, "My name is Colt Dog. I got a set tonight. I went, good luck." And then he was asking, he goes, "Those business day games, like, do you have to be a businessman?" I said, "No, you don't. You can come on, come on. They just call because it's 12:30. But a great guy. And he says, "I love the Redhawks, and I love those day games."
And then Sundays are country day, right?
Oh,
We're supposed to have
yeah.
Brianna Helbling playing, but she's got some vocal cords this year, so
Right.
we were thankful enough to get, I believe we got Dan Brecky coming in on
cool.
Sunday, so that's amazing.
One strike on the batter, Wilkerson, and here he is batting right-handed. And he's down 0-2 as the pitch goes in. Dan Brecky, that's a good man, too. I know he's performing on a place in Thursday nights in Fargo at Tailgaters there. Got some good artists here. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout.
All right.
Brad Thome, the one and only. And by the way, your knowledge of music is off the charts, especially that blues.
It's normally the useless trivia that I'm really good at.
All right.
You and I need to get together more
Tomorrow,
often.
Brad will tell you how big Sammy Hagar's vertical was.
There you go.
We go to
I'm
the
guessing 14 at the most.
Let's go to the top of the sixth inning. It's the Redhawks 9, Kansas City 5. This is and Clark's double 6-4-9-4 might be all we use. Well, we made it to the top of the sixth inning here at Newman Outdoor Field. Again, the game got a scheduled 7:02 start. Weather came in, a couple shower cells hit pretty hard, lightning in the area. So there was an hour and a half delay to start tonight's game. And here we sit in the sixth inning, and the Redhawks leading 9-5. I will reiterate, as we talked about the entire series, if you're listening to and or viewing the game through Redhawks eyes, you can't sleep on Kansas City. This team is, you got them down, you got to keep them down. You let them open up, and they will run right through that opportunity. So Bryce Brassfield will, and good extension here for Brassfield. 3 2/3 innings of relief. I mean, it'd be his game to win tonight. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball away, 2-0 the count. Cleburne taking game one of a twin bill in Winnipeg, 8-5. In the nightcap, the Gold Eyes have a 2-0 lead on the Rotors tonight. Wide in the pitch is high, ball 3. Ninth inning at the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. Milwaukee leading the Railcats 3-2 tonight. Well, the Canaries putting up some runs. There's a strike. In Sioux City, Sioux Falls leading the X's 14-3. And Lincoln in Chicago is over. The Salt Dogs get a win. Bissonette fouls, and Bryce Brassfield has come all the way back. 8-6 the final as Lincoln defeats Chicago tonight. Now the Salt Dogs get their 9th win of the year. Chicago drops to 9-14 on the season. Redhawks leading here at Newman in the top of the 6th inning, 9-5. Brassfield's pitch fouled away. That Cleburne win earlier tonight in game one of a doubleheader, their 9th win of the season. Winnipeg goes to 10-13. Redhawks trying to climb the charts in the West. And strike 3 called as Brassfield paints the outside corner. Bryce Brassfield came back from a 3-0 deficit to come back and get a strikeout here in the 6th. Well, we said the Redhawks, from a team aspect, when we look at some of the individual team numbers in the American Association, and those Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks, from a team aspect, lead the league in strikeouts. Came in with 205 strikeouts as a team. There's a pitch low to Marcus Smith. Smith has been trouble at the top of the order for Redhawks pitchers. Led off the game with a double off the center field wall, walked in the second and tripled in the fourth off Brassfield. The 1-0 pitch is a ball inside. And I misspoke. It's Brassfield's 5th strikeout of the game. There's a strike. At the strikeout of Bissonette, so 5 strikeouts for Brassfield tonight. 2 balls, a strike, and Marcus Smith. The pitch pulled into right field, and Marcus Smith is on base for the 4th time tonight. So Marcus Smith is a home run away from the cycle with that single here in the top of the 6th inning. That brings up Nick Martini. 35-31, the paid attendance in today's game. As Brassfield leans in for the side. Now with the length of the game, it's thinned out here, but boy, this is, and a pitch outside. With that danger zone, I mean, this is one where you can't let these Monarchs back in. Very impressed with Joe Cal's team, and a ball fouled straight back. 1-1. And you look at this revamped, with the addition of Martini and this lineup. Smith, Martini, Saul Garza, Richardson, Callahan, who's got 5 hits in this series. Sahid Valenzuela is a dangerous hitter. Hudson Head has been proven to put it in play. This team is going to put runs up, and here's a ball fouled back to the netting. And the Hawks, how long will they go with Bryce Brassfield in the relief role? Your rookie right-hander. Quick peek at the runner at first, Marcus Smith, and the pitch is outside. 2-2 the count. And those base runners are premium. We'll see if Smith is in motion at any time during this particular at-bat. 9-5, Redhawks lead. Sermo holding on with the runner. The set and the pitch. Slider inside and low. And I'd imagine Marcus Smith might take off here to avoid that inning-ending double play, perhaps. The set and the throw over to first. 3-2 the count remains. 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the hometown Redhawks. 5 runs, 10 hits. 1 error charged on Kansas City. Runner takes off, payoff pitch is a ball, and now the Monarchs with runners on first and second. On the free pass to Nick Martini and the batter Saul Garza. Brassfield came on to relieve Hunter Day in the second inning. Got a couple of outs, but how long will Chris Coast go with him? Chris Coast coming out now to have a conversation. And again, Brassfield would be in line for the victory here tonight, and we're going to have a pitching change. This pitching change presented by Kia of Fargo. We'll tell you about the new arm when we return. 2 on for Kansas City, 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Game 2 of this 3-game series. It's Fargo-Moorhead 9, Kansas City 5. This is Redhawks baseball. Mason Pelio, the right-hander, is on for Fargo-Moorhead. And I know Redhawks fans are thinking the best thing Mason can do is induce a ground ball to someone in a position and try to flip 2 and get out of this. Easier said than done. You got a big bumper. This is one of those, it's a 6th inning. A lot of baseball left tonight. You got Saul Garza who can turn this game around on one swing. So Pelio got a challenge here. He inherits 2 base runners and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a big cut. And we kind of knock on wood, but Brassfield leaves with an opportunity to get a victory today, and it would be his first professional win. But again, a lot of ball to play. Garza sends a bounding ball up the third base line and fouled. Saul Garza. You look what he and Marcus Smith have done tonight. Marcus is standing over there at second base. He's got a double, triple, a single, and 2 runs scored. Saul Garza is doubled and tripled and driven into. Those two guys have 5 hits, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a single. And as I said, Mason Pelio hoping to get Garza to roll one on the infield. They'll look back to second of the pitch. In the dirt. Good pick by Jimmy. Juan Fernandez. I mentioned our Mount Rushmore top 4 today. Give me your top 4 ball players whose last name or clever first name has something to do with a beverage. In honor of Nick Martini today. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Holy cow, Mason Pelio pulled the string and he gets a strikeout of Garza. Huge second out here in the top of the 6th inning. That's a monster out for Garza. That ball just cut enough down. And not out of it yet, but that is a big one. And if he can get Richardson and strand a couple, you would take that. Kansas City, they've stranded 6 runners through their first 5 trips to the plate. And there's a ball that disappears on the outer half. A swing and a miss by Richardson. Grant today is 0 for 3. It is turned into after a cloudy and some scattered thunder showers and lightning day, into a pleasant, cool evening on the north side of Fargo. Pitch is low. Darker than a stack of black cats. There's that Scott Miller reference out here tonight. Lights illuminated. Those are new lights here at Newman installed. But man, last year, slight breeze blowing out. Old Glory and the maple leaf on that flagpoles and those poles in center field. Mason Pelio on a relief of Brassfield. From the set, the 1-1 pitch hit high in the air behind second. And Colby Wilkerson is there, and the former Tar Heel squeezes it for out number 3. And Mason Pelio, that is a large job in relief here in the 6th. For Kansas City, no runs on 1 hit. They leave a couple on. We go to the bottom half of inning 6. 9-5, Fargo-Moorhead leading it. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Well, we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. Jay Groom, the left-hander, is on. Jay Groom on for Kansas City. And the key of Fargo called to the bullpen. The lefty Groom is on. We saw Gomez and now Groom. So a couple lefties there. The right-hander Austin Hansen got the start in today's game. Hansen going 2 1/3 innings today for the Kansas City Monarchs. Jarus Richards, 4th plate appearance today. He's 1 for 2 with a single, couple runs batted in, a walk, a run scored. Swings on the first offering and launches one foul down the left field line. Yeah, Austin Hansen went 2. And a 3rd inning, boy, the Redhawks, who sent 10 men to the plate in the 1st inning, sent 10 men to the plate in the 3rd inning of today's game. 9 runs, 13 hits for the hometown Redhawks, 5-10-1 the line for Kansas City. Groom finds the edge for strike number 2 on Jarus Richards. Oh, 2 the count. On a pretty night here at the north side of Fargo. 0-2 pitch, sent foul. Redhawks with, mentioned those 13 hits, have 32 hits and have scored 25 runs now so far in this series. A lot of offense. They were held in check last time they were at Newman. Jazz misses away to his Groom. Lefty ahead still, 1-2 in the count on Jarus Richards. The pitch is hit back up the middle off of Groom. He knocks it down with both legs, picks it up, and he will not be in time. That's an infield hit for Jarus Richards. Well, you hope Groom is okay. That thing kind of waddled in between his legs on a comebacker to the mound. Pinballed, it looked like it got both the left and right part inside his leg, and Richards an infield hit. Thing was going right through the 5-hole there, and boom, yeah, got, ooh, that leg, that's a painful thing. And Groom just wears it on the hill. And I'm glad that didn't hit any hard bone. I think it got part of the quad right there. But a leadoff infield hit for Jarus Richards. Richards' second hit of the game, and here's Brian Fuentes. 9-5, Hawks lead just by 4 runs as Groom delivers low. Hanson the starter. Charged with those runs. There was an error mixed in there. On a ball lost in the lights in center. Runner takes off, pitches a strike. Throw to second is not in time. Now it gets into center field, and heading to third is Richards. It'll be a stolen base and an error, and the Redhawks with a runner 90 feet away. Well, Jarus Richards just swiped a couple of bags here tonight. And as always, he throwing air charge to the catcher. A little skip ball into second, so the second error of the game for the Monarchs. Important run 90 feet away for Fargo-Moorhead. You talk about the difference between a 4-run lead and a 5-run lead. And right now, Brian Fuentes trying to give the Redhawks another run across the plate as he takes a cutter inside for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike, and Fuentes. One of the batting heroes last night, 3 hits, including his first home run in a Red Hawk uniform. Good to see Fuentes, and he can swing it. A tremendous defensive asset for Fargo-Moorhead at third. And now adding that bat to his game here. The pitch is inside and low. On deck, Aiden Byrne. 3-1 the count on Fuentes. Well, is Fuentes going to get something he can drive and put in the outfield? The Redhawks batting in the bottom of the 6th. From the set, Jay Groom with a pitch home. High, he walked it, and Aiden Byrne will step to the plate. Well, Aiden Byrne tonight has struck out at a sacrifice bunt, and he is at a single to left field. So Burnsy 1 for 2 officially. I'm going to keep an eye on Callahan, the third baseman, because over the years, Chris Coast has called safety squeezes in situations identical to this. And the league kind of knows that, and Callahan playing in at third. Here's the pitch. It is a safety squeeze, and it's popped up, and it's going to drop on the infield, and the play made at second for the out, but coming in to score from third is Jarus Richards, and the Redhawks have a 10-5 lead. Yeah, I had a feeling that safety squeeze. The thing about the safety squeeze, even if the opposition knows it's coming, as long as you get the ball down, you're going to get that run in. Now, Byrne popped it up, but he popped it up well enough to get it over the pitcher. The out made it second to retire Fuentes for out number 1, but Byrne a run batted in. And a swing and a miss. Luhano steps in. So the Hawks get that 10th run. And Burnsy also a man. He's stolen the base tonight. Now, Groom, the left-hander, might neutralize some of that ground game, the breaking pitch away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Luhano. Now, that's the thing about that play. You know, the difference between a safety and a suicide squeeze, that runner from third is not breaking right away on a safety squeeze. Batter squares, puts it down, then, you know, the runner just kind of inching off the bag, sees it down, and then runs home. And we've seen that work so brilliantly for Fargo-Moorhead over the last several years. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jesus Luhano. Luhano 2 for 3 today, a single, a triple, a couple runs batted in. Lefty on lefty here in the 6th, the pitch. Luhano jammed on 1, pulls 1 to second, and the throw to second for 1 to first, not in time, a fielder's choice. 4-6 on the put out of Aiden Byrne at 2B. Luhano reaches on the FC, and here's Juan Fernandez.
Catcher, number 23,
Well, the stolen base a factor here in the Redhawks 6th inning. Richards singled, stole second, moved to third in an air, then walked to Fuentes. Nope, here's Jimmy. Juan Fernandez. The pitch is high. 1 for 3 tonight. Double, 2 runs scored. Was hit by a pitch in the solar plexus. Wrestling term. 10-5, Hawks lead. Bottom 6. And the pitch home. And tight breaking pitch down and in. If you're looking for a fun way to recognize your child's youth baseball or softball team, you can do it here at a Redhawks game in a Culver's youth team. A lot of goodies that come with that, including a free scoop from Culver's. 235-6161. The 2-0 pitch is inside ball 3. Family Fair games. You know that. You're bringing a Family Fair receipt of $25 or more to a Redhawks ticket office and receive 2 first base bleacher tickets for any Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday game for free, thanks to Family Fair. 3-0 the count on 1. And a strike. Dylan Thomas would be next. Redhawks leading 10-5. Well, the Hawks, who lost that Saturday night loss in Milwaukee, they had lost 5 in a row. Then one Sunday, one yesterday, have a 10-5 lead today. They're trying to pack W's together. The pitch, inside, he walked him. And the old saying, more would be just enough. We'll see if Dylan Thomas can find something to his liking here from Jay Groom in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yeah, the kicker on this whole thing is, the Redhawks and Monarchs are going to turn around and, we're a little more than a dozen hours away from playing game 3 in this series. Well, here's Dylan Thomas against Jay Groom. The pitch. Breaking pitch, and Thomas sits on it, lines a base hit into center field. Luhano froze for a second just to make sure that wasn't caught. And Dylan Thomas, a 3-hit night tonight. Grand slam last night. Good to see DT swinging that bat like Dylan Thomas swings a bat. Timing, bat through the zone, good contact. We saw him homer to left field last night. We've seen him pull a couple of balls today to right. Seen him go up the middle. It's a good sign. And here's Jose Sermo. Bases are loaded for the Redhawks with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, leading 10-5. The pitch, Sermo takes across the chin for a ball. And Sermo, as we said, he's rolled out, come back tonight after the daughter's graduation last night. He's come back tonight and got a couple of hits under his belt. Redhawks with 10 runs and 15 hits. Jay Groom, the pitch on the way. Breaking pitch up and in, ball 2, and Sermo just trying to lock in on something he could possibly turn and pull. All right, name games. David asked me, does Bob Lemon count in your name game? I'll have to get back to you on that. 2-0 pitch, ball 3, inside. Your top 4 ball players whose last name is anything resembling a beverage. Well, you're up 10-5. Bases are loaded. The count's 3-0. Do you have a green light on 3-0 here? I imagine Jose Sermo, if it's to his liking, he will take a shot at it, and Groom steps off. Winnipeg trying to split that twin bill tonight, have a 2-0 lead on Cleburne. Some finals rolling in, we'll get to in a moment. 3-0 the count on Jose Sermo. The pitch, and no need to swing. It's a ball inside. He walked him, and a bases loaded walk makes it 11-5 Fargo-Moorhead. I don't know if Trip Clark is the guy you want either, by the way. This way he has been pounding that baseball, and going to be a quick meeting on the mound. Matt Hall going to buy some time for the relievers. Bases loaded walk through Jose Sermo. And Luhano scores. And Fargo-Moorhead has put 27 runs on the board. I see 10 on the board out there. Let me double check. I think that's should be 11 on the board in the runs column. If you're here at the ballpark, it'd be 11-5 Fargo-Moorhead. Right-handed action brewing in the bullpen for the Monarchs. Now the Redhawks scored 4 runs in the first, 5 in the third. They've added 2 here in the sixth. So the score actually 11-5. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Trip Clark, the 8th man to the plate. The pitch, Clark takes a strike. That's gone final between Milwaukee and Gary as the Milkman. Hold on to get a 3-2 win over the Railcats today at the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. 1 strike on Clark, couple of hits tonight for Tripp. The pitch, good swing, fouls and out of play. For Danny Mesquite to win for Milwaukee. Justin Kelly gets the save. Sioux Falls, that's gone final. 14-3 winners today over Sioux City. 0-2 the count on Clark. And the pitch. Just a bit high in sight. Sioux Falls gets their 13th win of the year. The X's dropped to 11-14. Milwaukee, their win now 2 games over 500. And Gary drops to a game below 500. 1-2 pitch coming. Clark takes high, 2-2. Now Tripp reached on an error in the first, singled in the second, doubled in the third, struck out in the fifth. And Clark has also driven in a couple of runs tonight. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Runner at third for Fargo-Moorhead, Juan Fernandez. Dylan Thomas on at second, Jose Sermo at first. Hawks leading 11-5. And the pitch to Clark. Swing and a miss, he got it. Boy, Jay Groom muscled that one in at 93, and the Redhawks are out here in the 6th, but they put 2 more across. 2 runs on a couple of hits. There was an error, and 3 left on base. We're through 6 tonight at Newman. Fargo-Moorhead 11, Kansas City 5. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Up we go to the top of the 7th inning here at Newman Outdoor Field. The game's had a little length to it. Kudos. Thank you for tuning in tonight and being a companion for you on a Wednesday night. You know, as we approach the 11 o'clock Central Time hour, and tomorrow's game's 12:30, I have to pitch a little tent and just hang out here. And I got to be at work early tomorrow. My boy Mike Jones was helping everybody vote yesterday. I mean, he wasn't in the cubicle with them, helping you, taking the ID, getting, No, circle that. No, not that. He was making sure they got her going. There's a swing and a miss here. So Pelio stays on. Came in, made some big pitches with 2 men on and 1 out in the 6th. And Austin Callahan, 1 for 3 in the game with a home run. And Callahan swings and fouls away. Think for a second. When Austin Callahan homered tonight, it tied the game at 4. And that was in the 3rd. The Redhawks have outscored Kansas City 7-1 since. The 0-2. Just a bit away. Ball and 2 strikes on Callahan. Pelio steps and throws, and Austin got a piece of it. Colby Kaiser tomorrow for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. We talk about the good young pitchers, and then Jimmy Endersby Yeah, quality hurler on the mound for KC. Pitches high. Last one, 95. 2-2 the count on Callahan. Pelio addresses home. Here's the wind, the pitch, and this one slapped in the air to left field. Jarus Richards going back, comes in a step, makes the catch, and there's out number one. That'll bring up Zahid Valenzuela. As Sioux Falls 14-3 winners over Sioux City. Lincoln defeating Chicago, I mentioned tonight, 8-6. It's another game that's going on. I mentioned Lake Country and Kane County. It'll rain down today. It wasn't just the Red River Valley, the Northern Plains that got some weather. At Chicago area, obviously Illinois as well. First pitch ball, second pitch in on a rocket, backhanded by Burnett, short, plants and fires the stretch. The pick at first by Jose Sarmo. What a play here at Newman. Aiden Byrne backhanding it deep at short, and Jose Sarmo picks it clean at 1B. Nice job by those two boys. They each acknowledge each other, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. That ball hit sharply and then came off that lip, and Byrne backhanding it, had to get that feet, knew that he had to get rid of it because Valenzuela could run, and Jose Sarmo showing the leather at 1B, 2 outs, and Pelio drops a strike in there to Hudson Head. And the only other active game tonight in the AA is that nightcap between Winnipeg and Cleburne. The Gold Eyes lead that 2-0 in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Oh, finally, the 11:02 just arrived. Or maybe it's departing. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Here's low and away. We've never asked that during a broadcast. How many ballparks can you name that are within a mile or two of an airport? A regional airport, a major one? The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Mason Pelio spins one from the backside in elevated. Mason Pelio, 1-2-3, records the Kansas City Monarchs in order here in the 7th. Nothing across. We've reached the 7th inning stretch presented by Dairy Queen. The Dairy Queen 7th inning stretch after catch. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. My sister T in that candy toss. Boy, I'm out of breath just watching his throw. That's get out to Newman. You never know what's coming out of that press box. Could be a tracking down Marge shirt on home runs. It could be a we could hit you in the shoulder with a sack of, what do we throw out to little nibs? My thanks to dear Ann, a big fan, who's a big part of that. Need a little snack tonight. Been a long day. Need a little sugar. What do we got here? Oh, Johnny Ranchers we're throwing out tonight. Here's Kobe Wilkerson leading it off. Groom stays on. He buries a strike over the inside corner after a foul. These two teams playing in about 10 minutes. Game 3, it seems. Tomorrow I'll be right back here. I wonder if the Redhawks staffers, I was joking that I might just pitch a tent in the booth, but you come out to Newman Outdoor Field, and Wilkerson swinging a foul tip held on by Lindsley, a strikeout for Groom. Yeah, far long before you come into the gates of Newman. Staffers, and some of these are obviously full-time. I mentioned Teresa's has been awesome, been here, veteran, been around for long. They've been here for several hours throughout the morning, and then the game hits, and then it's the game, and then it's the wrap-up post, and then boom, they get up and do it again tomorrow to Make sure that you have an enjoyable experience at the ballpark. Rain delay on the field, and then when that tarp needs to be pulled, and look down, and there they are pulling tarp, and you put in a day. There's 50 of these home dates and parties throughout the season. 1-0 pitch hit high in the air to right field. Richards, if it's fair, it's gone. It is fair. Marge, track it down. Track it down, Marge. Jarus Richards, a solo shot to right. And the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks have a 12-5 lead. How about that, Jarus Richards? Let's throw 2 out today and track it down. Let's make sure they see it. Who's going to come and get a track it down Marge shirt? It hasn't yet. If you can toss one down to the Jones show. Well, there we go. Jarus Richards, a track it down Marge shirt. You know what you might have to do? If you can make that, and the crowd is thinned a little bit, the pitch on the way is fouled back. Let's save this one. Mike Jones is going to make the trip over. I'm going to save mine for his walk over here. Redhawks lead 12-5. Here's Fuentes, and Fuentes fouls away. Teresa, is there any way you can get a Marge shirt 413 feet? If these people look behind here. Well, Fuentes homered last night. Oh, there you go. Now you got someone looking at you. There's. We got one Marge shirt out. 0-2 the count, and the pitch is high and tight. There's Mikey right there. Let me see if this, it's a large. Not right. Every home run, the Redhawks, you can wash it. And Fuentes hit on the foot. Boy, was down 1-2 in the count, and Brian hopefully is all right. He got clubbed on the toe. Well, Redhawks doing some damage. We talk about the bottom of the order, turn around, flipping to the top. Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks in this series have scored 28 runs on 35 hits in the first 2 games of the series. I mean, it's just, and I got to tell you, that road trip, this is why the season, these ebbs and flows of a season. There's a strike in there to Aiden Byrne. That's why you can't get too down when, they had lost 3 one-run games to Kansas City last week, dropped a 1-run game on Friday night to Milwaukee, and shut out that second game against Milwaukee. And I got to tell you, you weren't feeling too good. The Hawks had lost 5 in a row. They bounced back Sunday. Get a great performance from Patrick Wicklander. Aiden Byrne hits his first home run of the year. They win the game. They come back home. They get an off day Monday, put up 16 runs last night. They put a dozen up tonight and 15, 16 hits tonight. And all of a sudden, you're kind of forgetting about that lull they were in last week. Could you imagine if you did not have a steady keel of not getting too high on highs and low on lows, and if you lived and breathed with every win or loss, what a miserable. But baseball is so different of a sport. 1-2 the count, and a strike over the inside corner. Boy, Groom got a muscle down over the inner half, and he catches Aiden looking. 2 outs. We go to the top of the order to Jesus Luhano. Football games played every week. So everything is built up to that Sunday football game or that Saturday football game. Well, baseball, exact opposite. You're playing pretty much every day. These 2 teams back at it again tomorrow. The pitch on the way. Luhano takes a strike. Big props to my boy Rick Fletcher and his great staff at CI Sport. Those track it down March shirts. We try to have those available. Eli Swanson had a great idea. So maybe we should throw more than one out on the home runs. I love that idea. So today we threw 2. There's 2 good strikes from Jay Groom. 12-5. Fargo-Moorhead leading. Bottom of the 7th inning, excuse me. They batted around twice, so my scorecard, this is my Teresa hangs with Jack. We've known each other long enough. The Redhawks hit around in inning number 1 and then batted around in inning number 3. So if you're like me and been scoring books since I've been old enough to write, you do it in pen, you're scratching out that next inning and putting another one. Yeah, and I forgot to scratch out my second one. Bottom 7, 0-2 pitch, and Luhano swings and sends a fly ball to center field. Hudson Head is over to make the catch, and there is out number 3. But the Redhawks get the home run from Jarus Richards. Another run on the board. After 7 complete, Fargo-Moorhead 12, Kansas City 5. This is Redhawks baseball. We go to the top of the 8th inning here at Newman Outdoor Field. Mason Pelio, the right-hander, stays on for Fargo-Moorhead. And Brady Lindsley, the left-handed batting catcher, leads things off for the Monarchs. Well, the Monarchs had built themselves a little cushion early in the season at first place, battling, Sioux Falls. It was the Canaries that kind of jumped out. And, if it's a 6-car race in each division, it's a long race. It's just in a sprint, like the Daytona 500. Sioux Falls' car kind of jumped out in front. There's a good strike in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lindsley. And then we saw that Monarch vehicle surpass Sioux Falls, and now they have a 3-game lead coming into today. Now, the Canaries have won today. The 1-1 pitch is a 2-hopper hit to second, played by Colby Wilkerson on to first, and there's out number 1. And Mason Pelio's retired 6 in a row since coming on in relief of Bryce Brassfield. That's the other thing at stake tonight. Bryce Brassfield, the pitcher of record for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. If the Hawks can contain this and keep this lead, he would have himself his first professional win. That's always fun. There's Josh Bissonette, right-handed batting shortstop. Pelio's pitch is high at 96 miles an hour. Top 8. Mason of the mind, and the pitch came right back with that heater, and Mason, that fastball 95 fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. President Brad Thoman here, and again with that Business Day game tomorrow, Friday night, the Wood Chippers game. Beautiful pitch. Pelio drops it in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Saturday autograph, post-game autographs always on the Saturdays, and also this week it's a blanket giveaway Saturday, Essential Heart and Vascular Heart Smart Night. Breaking pitch outside. The Wood Chippers night brought to you by Explore Minnesota. Then the post-game fireworks presented by Busch Light. Games to go will be at the ballpark with inflatables. That is just a monster night here at Newman Friday night. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip. Held on by Juan Fernandez. And a strikeout for Mason Pelio. His 3rd strikeout in relief, and he's retired now 7 straight since coming in. We talked about Sunday, Country Day, presented by Shiner Bach. And Dan Brenke performing in the Budweiser Beer Garden after the game. During the game, your chance to win tickets to area concerts and festivals, and they have not held back on that. They'll be North Dakota Country Fest, win tickets to see Riley Green at Ralph Engelstad Arena. Country Rising Festival, Lakes Jam, the Lights, and more. That's Sunday, presented by Shiner Bach. First pitch strike into Marcus Smith. Smith, a home run away from the cycle. He takes strike 2. And barring a big comeback, this would probably be Marcus's last plate appearance. He doubled in the first, walked in the second, tripled in the fourth, singled in the 6th. But he's down 0-2 here to Pelio. And he sends a ball inside the third base bag into left field. Marcus Smith rounding first. He's heading for second. His 3rd extra base hit of the game. and 4th hit overall. 2 doubles, a triple, and a single. And a night for Marcus Smith, now 26 hits on the year. That's his 6th double this season. And the batter here is Nick Martini. "12-5, Redhawks leading. Kansas City batting in the top of the 8th. The pitch. Martini sends one well struck to straightaway center field, but in the park, and Jesus Luhano backpedaling on the warning track in center field brings it in for out number 3. A long fly ball out by Mason Pelio. Really sharp tonight for Fargo-Moorhead. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still Fargo-Moorhead 12, Kansas City 5. This is FM Redhawks Baseball. Key call to the pen, Jeff Hakinson. Hakinson is on for the Monarchs. So Hakinson making his 8th appearance, 10 1/3 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, 7 walks. Hakinson 2.61 ERA, right-hander on here, facing Juan Fernandez, Dylan Thomas, and Jose Sermo, the scheduled hitters for the Redhawks here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6th plate appearance for these boys here. The Redhawks leading at 12-5. 12 runs, 16 hits, no errors for the Redhawks. 5 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for Kansas City. Hakinson, kind of a slingshot pitcher, the right-hander, quick to the plate. Throws a strike in there to Juan Fernandez. Juan has doubled, struck out, hit by a pitch, grounded out, and walked. That's a full night, and he's got a good game tonight. Here's a line ball off of the pitcher. Hakinson knocks it down, picks it up, and throws on to first. Martini able to stay on the bag in the stretch. Boy, Groom took a comebacker off him in the 7th inning.
Right fielder, number 22, Dylan Thomas.
And now Hakinson takes one, and he's going to be checked out a little bit. Pitching coach Matt Hall coming out, Joe Calfapietri coming out to make sure he's all right. Boy, for Kansas City, they get the long trip, obviously, up here to Fargo, North Dakota. Get an off day Monday. That was a travel day for them. And then, they sustain a Red Hawk team that just exploded last night for 16 runs on 19 hits and had to use a number of pitchers last night. In fact, threw a position player, Alvaro Gonzalez, late in the game last night. Now you come out tonight, you jump out to an early lead, and then the Redhawks explode for 4 in the first. They tied at 4-4 in the third. Redhawks put up a nickel, a crooked number, a 5 spot in the 5th, led 9-4. And then now you're going through your 4th pitcher here today. 2 of them have been struck by comebackers on the mound, for goodness sakes. As we say sometimes, this game, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. And boy, Joe Cal's team got to feel like, my goodness, what did we step into here in Fargo, North Dakota? Here's Dylan Thomas. Now, Thomas, a 3-hit night tonight, and takes a strike. 11:24 about to arrive. Now DT on a misplayed ball. Otherwise he'd have 4 hits in the game tonight. He sent a ball to center in the 3rd. There's a strike called to the knees that Hudson had. At that time, dusk settling in. He had lights. He had misplayed a couple of balls out there. But part of that was the time of the day. 0-2 pitch. Backdoor slider misses. 1-2 and Dylan Thomas. To a DT. Had a big grand salami last night. 1-2 pitch. Good swing. Fouls back. June 22nd, that's a Monday, Farmers Union Fly Swatter Night giveaway, and it's a dollar dog night. And get a Farmers Union insurance. Swing and a miss as Hakinson spins one in and a strikeout of DT. Dylan kind of walking back to the dugout, but that's a pro. He's got 3 hits, nearly 4 today, but you want to still add to that. You want to get that good greedy. But Hakinson made a tremendous pitch right there, and here's Jose Sermo. Jose sitting in 9 round trippers this year, good for second in the American Association. And the pitch is a strike. June 23rd, Memory Fireworks giveaway night. That's a Tuesday night. A discount voucher for a firework at Memory Fireworks in Horace for the first 500 fans. The 0-1 is high. June 24th, and again, that's always, if you followed Redhawks, it's one of the biggest nights. It's Military Appreciation Night. Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber of Commerce brings that on. Good pitch, 1-1 pitch, a strike. A lot of big things forthcoming, including the day game tomorrow. 13 hours from now, they're back at it tomorrow here in Newman. The Redhawks trying to get this one tonight, sew it up. 1-2, hit high in the air. Look out, plane. Into the night and in the park, and head shifting over, makes the catch, and that's out number 3. The Redhawks go down an order here in the 8th. 9th inning coming up after 8 complete. It's Fargo-Moorhead 12, Kansas City 5. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Fargo bullpen Tyler Jeans on to try to get these 3 outs. Number 25, 26, and 27 sew this thing up, and the Redhawks trying to put their 3rd straight win together and win a series here at Newman Outdoor Field. It's one thing that's eluded the Redhawks. Now they've only had 2 home series. Tyler Jeans is on. He's been a good arm for the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks last year, now into this year, 2nd season. 17 strikeouts, 5 walks for Tyler Jeans. And Bryce Brassfield would be in line for the win. And on the hook for the Kansas City Monarchs, Austin Hansen. Stick around for the post-game show. I'll chat quickly with Chris Coast. I'm sure he'll want to, as will Joe Calfapietra, get back to his hotel to get the guys off their legs and turn around. And his former manager, Doug Seminick, would say, put your costumes back on and get back out the next day. First pitch strike, 2nd pitch outside. Saul Garza, right-handed batting DH. Garza swung it big today, double, triple, 2 for 4, a couple runs batted in as Jeans throws low. Redhawks getting that home run late from Jarus Richards today. Garza takes a little bit high. His 4th of the season. A lot of stuff early for Fargo-Moorhead, extra base hits. And up and down the lineup, the production again in game 2. Swing and a miss on the 3-1 pitch. Man, Jeans. 3-2 the count. How about the NBA today and having family in San Antonio? That's a tough one. How about this? The Knicks overcame a 29-point deficit tonight to defeat the San Antonio Spurs. I thought that was done. I was monitoring that thing. Well, that thing's over. 3-2 pitch is the ball 4. Breaking pitch away. So Garza reaches for the 3rd time tonight. Yeah, that is a little lesson right there of the old Yogi Berra, it's never over till it's over. Sermo not holding on with a runner at first, and the batter is Grant Richardson. And the Redhawks 3 outs away from taking the first 2 in this series. And a cut and a swing and a foul tip. The only bigger comeback on record in any playoff game in the NBA, in case you're wondering, was 31 points by the Clippers against Golden State, Game 2 in 2019. Check swing by Grant. They say no, did not go around. Twins get a much-needed win. Byron Buxton, in his 20th of the season. Royce Lewis, a homer. 6-3 the final. Minnesota beating Detroit 1-1. Just a bit high and away. Tighter jeans from the set to our Kansas City fans tuning in tonight. As a swing and a miss for the Royals fans out there. They've fallen 10 innings to the Rangers tonight, 6-4. Post-game show, we'll take a look at all the scores from around the American Association. Update you on the new standings, highlights, chat with Chris Coast and more coming up. Check swing to the net. Hey! Yeah, raise those fists. That's why those ball boys, ball children, they make the big bucks right there. That's a clean web gem off the netting and landing perfectly into the mitt. And a drop ball down low. And then that fist pump up. It's 11:33 p.m. This game started at 8:32. So we've had an hour and a half rain delay in a 3-hour game, and that still got that fist in the air. There's strike 3, Tyler Jeans. Catches Richardson looking, there's out number 1.
High Point Network strikeout. High Point Network.
The Hawks 2 outs away from putting this one to bed. And Jeans get that live arm. Here's Austin Callahan. Callahan mentioned 4-hit night last night, homered tonight. 5 hits in the series. Ours had 1B in the pitch. Callahan takes low. Colby Kaiser. Mr. Sabika throwing tomorrow afternoon. Here he enters, be going for the Monarchs, pregame 12-10. There's a ball outside, 2-0. Hawks trying to put it away. Let's see what Tyler Jeans can come back with here to Callahan. Swing and a fly ball hit behind short. Drifting into shallow left is Aiden Byrne, and he makes the catch falling down. And Byrne able to hold on for out number 2. Not an easy play for an infielder going back. Judging a slight breeze. And Aiden Byrne able to get the job done. A fundamentally sound defensive player, Aiden Byrne. Guy just built to play baseball. Probably built to play shortstop. A 2-man out, Hawks 1 out away. Batter Saheed Valenzuela, the pitch is hit sharply into right field off of Sermo's mid. Picks it up, throws it, and it's not going to be in time. Ball gets away on the throw over to first, and that will allow the runner to head to third. Now Sermo with a tremendous effort at 1B. That'll be a base hit. And that would probably go down as a throwing error, also to allow the runner Garza to get to third. Charge to first baseman Jose Sermo. So it'll be a hit. And now Chris Coast, I don't think he's coming out to talk to Gene. Well, maybe he is. He might be checking to see if Jose Sermo's okay. And maybe just altogether a chat with the infield. And maybe a couple pitches. How to finish this thing. 12-5, Redhawks lead. That meeting over. We're going to the 7th inning of the night camp in Winnipeg. So couple teams playing late into the night on a Wednesday night. Hey, you got large planes coming in, music pumping. And here is Hudson Head. He's 1 for 3 tonight. The base hit and a run scored. Jeans the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the Redhawks get that 27th out tonight at Newman. Fouled at the plate. Or was it? It was. And now Tyler Jeans and the Redhawks 1 strike away. Oh, 0-2 the count on Hudson Head. Runner at third, runner at first for Kansas City. Gene's pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the game is over, and the Redhawks win it 12-5 here at Newman Outdoor Field. The Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks now have won 3 consecutive games and are guaranteed a series win here in this 7-game homestand, at least the first one. The Hawks win it today by a score of 12-5, and congratulations to Bryce Brassfield, his first professional win. Brassfield, his first professional win tonight. He is 1-0. The young right-hander, Austin Hanson, lost. He drops to 1-1. Jarus Richards, a home run tonight, his 4th of the season. The Redhawks win it 12 runs, 16 hits, 1 error. Kansas City 5 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. The lights are flashing in North Fargo, and that can only mean one thing. It's a Redhawks victory here in Newman.